All right. So looks like we're streaming now. We'll see what happens. And was 8:30 p.m. on a Thursday night, November 3rd. And for those who see this after the fact, you're wondering why I'm doing this. Number one, spur of the moment. Number two, to calm down a bit because I had I watched Clerks 3 and did a rant on it, which I'll upload that probably tomorrow. And then I'm in the middle of watching Dune 2021 because it's a paid request. I got 30 minutes in. I literally had to stop and go, I need to stop because I'm going to fall the hell asleep if I don't. And I need to do a stream to wake me up. And then I'll go back and finish it after the stream. But damn, man, I'm watching that new Dune movie. I'm 35 minutes in, and oh my God, I wanted to fall asleep. So, Clerks 3 and Dune, same damn day. Jesus. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna do a stream. Yes, it was a paid request for Clerks 3. That's the only way I would see it. Otherwise, I would avoid it. And I did not pay for it. I found it some other way. And I didn't want to see it because I'm like, why would I see that film? But yes, it was a paid request. Otherwise, I never would have seen it. And it's the worst film I've seen this year because it's the one that pisses me off the most. It really is. I hate Clerks 3 with a passion. But I get into that in the rant I'll upload tomorrow. But unless people want to ask questions, you can feel free. But I'll answer them. But yeah, the full review rant, epic rant, will be tomorrow. Or I'll probably. Hey Fabio, how you doing, man? Did you like Clerks and Clerks 2, Fabio? I'm trying to remember. I would invite you on, but I figured you were busy. And also, I forgot to think of it until now. But oh god, yeah, the Jacob's Ladder remake. That is in my top five worst remakes of all time. You love the first two Clerks. Well, um, this last one wasn't it. It wasn't it, man. No problem, man. God, Clerks 3. Yeah, it's about a 50-minute rant because I, I hate I hate Kevin Smith. I hate how he's become, what he's become. Clerks 3 is Yoga Hosers is technically his worst film, but Clerks 3 is I've never been so pissed off at a Kevin Smith film. What they did to the characters, what they did to the first two Clerks films, what Kevin Smith did is unbelievable. They Live, that's a classic. That's a movie. Hello there, Paulie. How you doing? But yeah, Clerks 3, man, just hey, you liked Rosario Dawson, the first movie? Well, she's dead by the beginning of the second film, and her unborn kid. What a great way to start a comedy. And I hate to say this, but these guys do not look good in their older age. We all get older, but goddamn, these guys don't look that good, and they look exhausted on screen, and the acting isn't that good in this new Clerks film. And it's not funny. I would say it's nihilistic. It's depressing. Fabio, you want to know how Clerks 3 ends, man? Dante dies because Randall gives him a heart attack. No, Rosario Dawson's in the third movie. She's in it as a force ghost or imagination. She's in it. So Kevin Smith wrote her as a fucking force ghost type of thing that Dante sees. So Randall treats him like shit for the entire film, saying it's my movie, it's my movie, it's my movie, and then gives Dante a heart attack. Dante dies because he gives up on life because he literally says, "My life sucks. I never got a happy ending. It sucks. Then he gives up, and the fucking movie ends with the funeral, and literally Randall says, Dante, you're not even supposed to be here today. At the fucking funeral, he says, Dante, you're not even supposed to. At the fucking funeral. And it ends in the fucking quit stop with Randall saying, I miss you. And there's Dante's Force Ghost staring at him. Jesus Christ. And this gets a 6.5 IMDb and saying, oh my God, I cried. It's a masterpiece. What the fuck is going on? Sorry, I didn't mean to rant. For those who see that video when I upload tomorrow, you'll get the full gist. But here's the thing. Why can't Rosario Dawson be at a job and she's at work and she calls in a couple times? And then at the very end, they get together. Why not do that? Woman I don't know what that is. Why though? Why? It depends. Why what? Why anything? Why? Also, a running gag in Clerks 3 is NFTs and cryptocurrency because Tim Smith loves those. That's like a running gag. I don't know what's funny about it, but it's a running joke gag. Hey there, Ben. Doing all right? Hey there, Nemo. Hey there, you two. Hey there, Darth Goldust. By the way, hi, Monoval. Johnny Jerry. But my God, man. Unfucking believable with that Clerks 3. You start a comedy off with a woman and her unborn baby dead. Dante's miserable. Randall has a heart attack. He says, I want to make a movie because my life hasn't meant anything. Well, that's funny because in Clerks 2, you said your life meant something because you hung out with your buddy all these years. That was the whole point of Clerks 2. That was the whole damn point. But they forgot about that, just like they forgot about Randall's growth. He's about to be a selfish prick, say, this is my movie, my movie, my movie. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. And then by the end of the goddamn movie, Randall gives Dante a heart attack because Randall treats him like shit, and Dante has enough, understandably so, fed up, tells him, has a heart attack, has tubes down his throat. Randall's like, I'm going to show you the movie we made. And he doesn't show the movie. Instead, it cuts to Dante in a movie theater with the Force Ghost, Rosario Dawson, watching the actual Clerks 1 movie clips. And then he's going to leave, and Rosario goes, don't you want to stay for the ending? And Dante goes, I trust the director. He's my best friend. You mean the guy that gave you a fucking heart attack? And then he gives up. I guess that's Tim Smith's, that's his message. Give up. If your life sucks, is in the shitter, give up. And then it ends with a funeral, and literally Randall says, Dante, you're not supposed to be here today. And the fucking Force goes Dante watching him at work. Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see his blast radius. Thank you, man. Clerks 3 is basically Kevin Smith, the movie. The film is a projection of his depressed psyche, dark person today. And what's funny is he accuses others of being negative, clear projection. I fucking agree with that. In fact, I wish I saw this before. I would have stole your quote for the review. But yes, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Blast Radius. But yeah, I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get it. I just don't. Why he thought that was a good idea to keep going with your story in this direction. But Kevin Smith is a big fan of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, so I guess he figured I better steal from that. Is that fucking funny? Sorry, I'm getting out of it. Uh, although if anyone wants to ask me a question about that, feel free. But let me go into this. I apologize. Yeah, Richard, Gladiator Clutch 3 is a masterpiece. Yeah, yeah. Hey, JT Grodian, doing all right. Should Kevin Smith retire? He should have retired in 2006. Yeah, that was another thing. What was happening was I got a request for the 2021 Dune. I got 35 minutes in and I quit. I'll watch the rest of it later, but I was so goddamn bored that I wanted to do this stream. And then I'll go back to it because it's a paid request. I'll finish it, but uh, that movie, I understand slow paced movies. That is glacially paced, and the lead guy looks like an emo boy. And it's only 35 minutes in though so far, but I'll watch the rest of it. But goddamn, it's fucking boring. Hey there, Jojo. Oh well, thank you, Hopium. You watched Clerks 3. I'm not even going to bother with that. Clerks may be my favorite comment. I've watched enough franchises to be butchered. Hey there, Todera. Yeah, it was a paid request. The review, well, it's an epic rant. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. But I mean, if you want to see, hey, did you like Betty Rosario Dawson in the second film? Well, she's dead by the beginning of the movie, and then her either Dante's imagination or her Force ghost is what he sees. Oh yeah, and Becky apparently in heaven has been fucking people like Malcolm X, Triple X. That's a joke in the movie. Miles Davis and Carl Sagan. She's been having sex with in heaven. And again, Dante dies, and Randall goes, "You weren't supposed to be here, Dante," at his fucking funeral. If you want to see all that, you be my guest. Because people say it's a masterpiece. Oh, thank you, JT Grogan. Uh, yeah, you said the best ones. Hey there, Ultra Ego. Jacob's Ladder, the original Aliens, The Hitcher from 1986. I agree on all three of those. Absolutely agree with those choices. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, what else for a 4K? I'm trying to think what would benefit. Fuck, what would benefit from it? You know what? I'd be open to a Mandy in 4K because I really like that Nicolas Cage film and it's very stylish in its look. I'd be open to. Is Dread in 4K? If not, I'll say Dread in 4K. Uh, I actually like Blade Runner 2049. That's the thing. When people are going, and if Dune continues the way it is, and I hate it, like this first 35 minutes, people, you don't like slow burn. I like Blade Runner 2049. I saw it in the theater, and I love that movie. I'll say this here, and people won't get mad. I like it more than the first movie, and I like the first Blade Runner. I do like the first Blade Runner. I actually like the second film more. I really did. And yeah, I like the first Blade Runner, but I like the second one more because I like the story more in the second film. Witness is a good movie. I remember Witness. Thank you, Darth Goldust. I just saw that. Cars 3 sounds like Hangover 3. It ain't good. Yeah, yeah. It's a good comparison. Which is, I don't remember people liking Hangover 3, so why the hell would you go in that direction? Well, you two, here's the thing. A lot of people don't like Blade Runner 2049 because they find it very boring. Now, I didn't find it boring, but a lot of people did, so you may be feeling the same way. But I really enjoyed Ryan Gosling. I enjoyed Harrison Ford. I thought he was used much better there than he was in the Star Wars movies, the new ones. I thought I loved the last scene with Deckard. I thought his character ended with respect. He wasn't thrown in the trash like Han Solo. Uh, it is a beautiful looking film, but I really liked Blade Runner 2049. It's a long movie. Yes, there's editing that could be done, but I really did enjoy Ryan Gosling's journey. Uh, I don't think Kevin Smith's heard of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Hey there, Caleb. Hanover is the only good one, but it would not be in my top 30 comedies, but I liked it. None of the sequels are good. New Peter Pan horror film? Stupid. Stupid. Has anyone here seen the new Dune movie 2021? What do you think of it? Because again, I got 35 minutes in. It was a paid request. I will get back to it after this, but I gave up because I was too bored. It's not that I like Star Trek the Motion Picture. I like 2001 Space Odyssey. Hey, Predator. I mean, other than seeing Clerks 3 and having a migraine and fucking Dune, well, 35 minutes of Dune. You know what Dune so far is? It's a hot model. Good looking, great titties, wonderful ass. But when she goes on you, she's using too much teeth, vapid, hollow, and has nothing to talk about. Now, I hope it gets better. But goddamn, 35 minutes in, and I understand. I can't say the movie sucks because I haven't seen the full film. I'm just saying I haven't nothing to it so far for me. Oh yeah, it's part one, and the lead guy just seems like a vapid emo boy. They didn't even know there was a Godzilla day. Kevin Smith needs to retire. He needs to take down the pot. Because here's the thing with Kevin Smith that people don't know. I was a huge fan of Kevin Smith back in the day. I mean, I mentioned this in the rant tomorrow, but fuck it. I was a big fan of this guy. Kurtz, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jane Silent Bob, Strike Back. Okay, Clerks 2, 2006, I really enjoy. He's going to move on. Good. Let it end. And then I listened to his podcast when it first started, Smodcast, with him as the producer, Scott Mosier. And then Zach and Mary is when things changed. Zach and Mary make a porno. That's when things changed. Seth Rogen wanted him to do more pot. He got addicted to pot to the point he literally said he started to wake and bake. And then on a podcast, he literally talked about for 2 hours about how disappointed he was disappointed in the box office of Zach and Mary. And then the next episode, he was going to talk about how that occurred. Was it marketing? The Weinsteins? No. Second part, never mind. Dude, you just spent an hour or two building this up. And now the next episode, you're like, nah, never mind. That is his career in a nutshell. Starts off strong and it ends in a wet fart. His career and his fucking comic books that he was writing, and he just gave up. The whole He-Man fiasco. I mean, I think he has brain fog. Fog brain. How is it? Yeah, brain fog. Because you look that up. I listen, if people want to do weed, that's fine. I don't. I never have. I just don't care to. But you read up, there are some people that if you do it long enough, you do get brain fog. It is an actual thing where you get either confused or you're not in 100% full capacity. And by the way, notice this with Kevin Smith. I want you guys to look up something. Old interviews, how normal he talks. Like in the first interview with Kevin Smith, right? He's just talking normal. Now look at what he does nowadays. This is Kevin Smith nowadays. Hey guys, it's Kevin Smith. He's wide eyed. He's a cartoon character. Hey guys, it's Kevin Smith. Let's go have a show. It's like this smile. Am I wrong? Yeah, this is a guy that literally waits and baits. There's a podcast, or I just saw recently on some comic book artist worked with him. I think it's titled like My Work with Kevin Smith or something like that. Let me see, what was it called? Working with Kevin Smith. Art Thibert, Thiberd. He talks about working with Kevin Smith. This is like from a year ago. And he talks about how, like, for example, him and Wolf Flanagan would tell the artist what to do. And even though he was a better artist, don't mess with Wolf Flanagan's artwork and trace and all that, which is not what you're supposed to tell a fucking comic book artist to do. And then, like, going to a panel, he was invited to it, and Kevin Smith wouldn't let him talk. He just talked the entire time and didn't let anyone get a word in edgewise. And then I did cursing. I curse a lot. But the Kevin Smith told an ass fucking joke, and the guy's 11-year-old girl was right there. And it's like, oh shit, your daughter's out there? Oh, I guess I should have told that ass fucking joke. Like, you curse some more. And hey, I love cursing. But sometimes you'd be like, come on, dude. The little girl's there. He's 11 years old. Have a little bit of common fucking sense. He also mentioned when he got there, the first thing Kevin Smith did was ask him if he wanted to smoke a bowl. That was literally what Kevin Smith first said to this comic book guy at this convention where they're going to do his TNA. Hey, would you like to smoke a bowl? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But hey, sorry about that. Hi there, Casey. Hi there, Horror Nerd 13. Which reviews are you talking about? Are you talking about Kevin Smith or hey there, Manny? I haven't played the Streets of Rage games. I know because I didn't grow up with the Genesis as, and the only time I played Genesis was like later on, uh, very infrequently. I grew up more with Super Nintendo. Kevin, Johnny Knoxville technically has brain damage, but he still seems smarter than Kevin Smith. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I haven't seen since I was a kid, so I don't have much memories of it. Manny, I have not seen that. John Knoxville's hosting a new show. I did not know that. Hey there, Casey Morgan. Worst episode of the X Files in the night? I can't remember. I'd have to rewatch the show. Just too many episodes to think about. Silent Hill 2 remake. I don't have the system, so I'm not going to play it. It's cool that it's coming back, but it's the guys who made Layers of Fear and uh, Oh, and that Blair Witch video game. Yeah. Pluto Nash is an awful film. That's why I don't like it. Its big joke is Hillary Clinton money. Tom Savini, good makeup effects guy. Hey there, Shadow Bear. Hope you're doing well. I've seen Shin Godzilla. I thought it was awful. I hated Shin Godzilla. All those the early stages Godzilla, and one has the big eyes going towards the camera. Hey, Will Ferrell. But yeah, again, that's what I was doing. I saw Clerks 3 and I had a mental heart attack. And then I was watching Dune 2021. I got 35 minutes in. I got bored enough. I said, I'm going to pause this and then I'm going to fucking do a stream and I'll finish it afterwards. Yeah, that's Shin Godzilla, Sally. There's some issues with that. And who knows, maybe one day. I could always re-review it one day. So how were your guys' Halloween? Actually, this is the first one after the Halloween. Hey, Drake, honest thoughts on horror movies nowadays, they suck. And I hear people going, this is such a great year for horror movies. I have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, Halloween Ends, Chainsaw Massacre 2022. What the hell was it? The Hellraiser 2022, The Munsters, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. What good horror movies? I liked The Black Phone. I didn't mind Nope. That's pretty much it. Hey, we are Cosmo. Yes, thanks for stopping by, Silver Rings 21. Still love Leviathan. Saw the original Dawn of the Dead in the theaters. Well, that's good. Was that the 3D one? Hey, Nick B, doing okay? Hey there, Sage. Like I was saying, other than having a mental heart attack because I watched Clerks 3 and a part of my soul died. Well, X sucked. Barbarian, everything I heard sounds like a very stupid movie where the characters have dumb as hell. Half of it wasn't in 3D though. Half of it wasn't in 3D? Yeah, it was a paid request. I saw Clerks 3 and you'll be seeing that review tomorrow. I like the Maniac Cop films. Sorry, watched Clerks 3. Hey, I'm apologizing to my mind for watching it. If you want to see Dante die because Randall gave him a heart attack, you go watch Clerks 3. If you want to see that, Barbarian, I've heard, was a really stupid movie, and from what people describe it, the characters are dumb as fuck. Curse 3 is the worst film I've seen this year. Hey, DJ Donnelly. I had a bizarre encounter seeing Barbarian in the theater. It was a date movie. She ended up bringing her mom along. Isn't that the movie where the girl is so stupid? This guy she fell in love with for 2 minutes, he disappears in the basement, and instead of running for the cop or something, she's like, I'm gonna go back inside. I'm gonna go back down the crazy, scary steps where this fucking room with a damn camera was at that probably filmed some snuff films. I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, yeah. Have you seen Chucky season 2? No. They don't have Dawn of the Dead 3D around here. How much do I weigh? 10 pounds. Oh, that's cool, Will Ferrell #1. Congrats on winning that. By the way, has anyone in the chat seen Clerks 3? I know Civil Wings hasn't. I know Fabio hasn't. But has anyone else actually seen Clerks 3? Am I the only asshole who's seen Clerks 3? Jesus Christ. Ain't gonna bother. Haven't. Hey, Brabus. I wonder how many Black Adam? No. No one's. Why would I want to watch Clerks 3? Hey, someone might send a paid request. Never heard of Clerks 3. Well, there you go. Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the commentary, Ghost of John Wick. Seen Clerks 3 in theaters, and you two saw it. Yeah, I don't care about the Peter Pan horror film. Such a stupid idea. You stopped at the Cars 2? No, I meant no, Clerks 3, not Cars 3. No premiere, I went to bed. Hey, True Fire Pink Guy. Black Mass 2, I didn't see. Drake, I'm not good enough to have that many subs, but thanks for the kind words. I don't have that because I'm not good enough. The Shadow, I don't know, did Al Bowen shoot someone on that set too? Okay, Bravo Zero, I'll check those videos out. Favorite Leatherface, look, the original. Worst, because it changed all 3D, baby. No, the fourth one. The fourth one. Yeah, Peter Winnie the Pooh slasher film. Stupid. Stupid idea. I mean, I know why they're doing it. It's a smart business decision, but it's a stupid idea. And that's the thing. I know why they're doing it. I just think it will suck. But I know why they're doing it. Because people don't see it because of the fuck factor. Fuck Terrifier. That one guy offered, but no, I nothing Terrifier 2. But that's fine. That's a 2.5 hour movie. I'm no interest in. God of War Ragnarok? No, I. What system is that even for? Not many people laughed at Clerks 3. Only two people laughed in the theater. I'm surprised they laughed. Clerks 3 is as depressed as Alien 3. Clerks 3 is the Alien 3 of comedies. You should have left. You'd have to remind me who stars in it. I don't have a PS5, so I'm not getting one either. It's too damn expensive. Hey, Pierce, hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. After seeing Clerks 3, I needed to calm down. The last God of War film I played was God of War 2, so nah. No, I didn't watch the trailer Avatar 2 because I don't give a shit about the film. Do you like Al Ballin before you decided to shoot people? Maybe. I mean, let me ask, okay, who here has a PS5 and who here is going to buy a PS5? If you are, what games are you going to get for PS5? Leviathan, well, Monteval, no one knows what the hell Leviathan is. And no, it doesn't need a sequel. Not every film needs a sequel. Rob Zombie's Halloween is a joke. Oh, thanks, Z. Hope you're doing well. Hope your night's going good. Well, other than suffering through Clerks 3, which gave me postmortem depression, and my soul died on my ass. Hey, Mike. I mean, sure, if you want. I thought you were sick, but sure. I mean, I'm going to be on for about an hour and a half, but um, yeah, I don't mind. Just have to give me a few minutes, but I have PS5. Don't have games for it now. I've been used to watch 4Ks. Uh, Deer Hunter. I haven't seen in forever. How come they never did a Super Friday 13 remake? Because when the film came out, a good chunk of the fan base got mad because, and the studio said, "Well, the second week it went down so many percentages, so that means it's to them it sucks." I don't know. I didn't even know Clerks 3 existed. You're the second or third person to say that. True Fire Pink Eye Clerks 3 is more depressing because dies because Randall gives him a heart attack. And then Randall says, "You weren't supposed to be here today, Dante." At his fucking funeral, and then Dante's watching as a force ghost in the fucking goddamn quick stop. Christ. Makes my dick itch. Christ. I'm sorry it's taking me a while because this internet on computer is slow, so it's taking forever for Facebook to open up. I don't have a PS5. Most new games aren't as good as the old ones. Clerks 3 is the last Jedi of Clerks movies. I agree. I fucking agree. It's dog shit. Is it worse than Dumber and Dumber 2? Yes, because they didn't kill Harry and Lloyd off. Among other bullshit in the movie. Hey, Dark Metal Spider. Yeah, I mean, the only thing you missed was me complaining about a chunk of Dune 2021 and mainly Clerks 3. Kanye West, I don't care what happens to Kanye West, honestly. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Let's see. Okay, let me try something real quick. I apologize. Let me see if this will work. Be right 1 second. Um, let's see. Doing that. I don't want to mess it up. All right, here we go. Now is that's on there. So let me try this now. What the hell is Crystal Lake? God, I hate the internet in this place. So slow. But let me see if I can do this. Okay, we'll see if that works. So hopefully that works. Sorry, I was trying to send my friend Mike a link, so we'll see how that works. Sorry I went dead there for a minute. Well, what's the difference? Okay and good. I mean, okay as in it's not a bad movie, it's a decent good movie. I mean, there's really not much to be confused about, Johnny Jerry. I mean, when you think something's okay, you do like and enjoy it. I mean, that's the same thing, Johnny Jerry. So what is so confusing about it?
Hey there. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
I'm doing all right. I've been better. It was just another goddamn sinus infection. So no, I've got past the worst of it though. So
That's good to hear.
good timing too, because I gotta get back to work. It's just been kind of a
I mean,
crazy week for me. Like get my backpack stolen at the grocery store by some fucking asshole thief, and then have to replace my phone, and
some
lock
people
down the
saying
old
hi.
phone. Hey there. Uh, and then I get stupid sinus infection. Right around the time I was doing the review, the epic rant on Halloween Ends. Like that's when I was starting to get like sick, which I'm like, fucking Halloween Ends. Put an end to
Uh,
my health.
well, quick, like, yes, Sashim, I did. Funny enough, I mentioned at the beginning of this that I was in the middle watching Dune 2021. I got 35 minutes in and I stopped because I was getting so bored. I wanted to do the stream. I'll go back and finish it. I will finish it, but so far, man, that fucking movie is so goddamn boring.
So
But I'll
far,
finish it.
you probably would take the '84 film, right? From what
Yes.
you've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely would. I'll finish it. We'll see. But oh, someone's asking about it. I think away
No,
from
I
it.
was away from it. I was shopping at the grocery store with my stepdad, and we were only in the store for like 30 minutes, and somebody busted open my stepdad's passenger side window on his pickup, stole my backpack. I had my cell phone in there, some wireless headphones, a few other things. I actually had my house key in there, so we had to like change the locks on our house. So, but since then, everything's been all right. I got a new phone. I got the latest,
Yeah,
greatest
that's why you
thing.
can never leave stuff in the
I
car.
know.
Never
I
leave
know.
stuff.
I'm not gonna do that again, but it was one of those things where we had been doing this for so long and had been so safe for so many years that, we
Yeah.
never even thought about it. So now from now on, I'm just gonna either take my bag into the store, or I'm just gonna at least, take my phone on me, keep it in like a jacket pocket or something. But
So we'll put a taser in there. So if someone puts their hand in,
yeah, have a
or make your
magna,
car, was it?
have a
Ro-
magnavolt. Yeah, have a magnavolt in
I was gonna
there.
say Robocop 2. Yeah. Well, I mean, other than
Number one
Dune, and
in
then
lethal response.
other than that, and suffering through Clerks 3.
Yeah, I heard about that. So it was worse than you thought it was gonna be, I guess. All I did recently is I just watched Interview with a Vampire and Queen of the Damned. That's what I watched fairly recently.
Well, Dan, I mean, if you want to see like Rosario Dawson dead before the movie starts,
Oh my
and Dante
god.
die at the end
I
because
knew
Randall
about
gives him a heart
Dante.
attack,
I knew about Dante because I remember reading something about that.
and then the last bit is a funeral where literally Randall says, "You're not supposed to be here today, Dante," at the coffin. And then the last shot is in the quit stop, and his forced ghost is watching Randall, who's depressed,
Oh my
and trying
god.
to make Elias the new buddy.
Of
And a lot
course
of
there has
running
to
gags about NFTs and
Yeah, of
cryptocurrency.
course there has to be a whole thing about, "Oh, we're still gonna carry the franchise on." Is it, so it could still get money, milk money out of it.
Why the
But
fuck would
somebody was
anyone see
mentioning
that?
this, Matt, and I left a text about it. You were wondering what Crystal Lake is, Matt? Crystal Lake is
Yeah.
the new A24 Friday the 13th prequel series. Yeah,
Oh, I heard
A24.
about that.
Yeah, they're doing a prequel series. And I'm like,
What story?
that is the worst possible company to
What's the
pick.
story?
I mean, even it doesn't even matter what the story is. Like, they're the worst possible company you could pick to do a Friday the
But like,
13th
what's the
prequel
story of
series.
a prequel?
I know.
Like the
Is it gonna
first
it's gonna
movie
be
was the
about the
prequel.
mother? It's gonna be about the mother? It's gonna be about Pamela Voorhees, I guess? I don't know.
It's Bates Motel.
Yeah.
I mean, is it not?
I mean, that does ring a bell, that's for sure. But I mean,
A
we're
mom
recycling
and a
everything,
fucked up
so
kid. A mom and a fucked up kid, and here's Jason. He's fucked up, and then just like Jason and Norman Bates are fucked up.
what is this gonna tie into the opening of From Dusk Till Dawn? Where, Jason is the one that was working at the restaurant. He's working at the restaurant behind the counter flipping burgers or whatever. Uh
Oh, just the dialogue, yeah.
mhm.
The potato head, potato head. Fuck A24, they are trash,
They're the worst
trash, trash,
company
trash.
to me personally to do a Friday the 13th film. Like, what have you seen, or a TV series? Like, what have you seen from them that makes you think that they're the right company for Friday the 13th? This is the type of company that, like, sticks their nose at Friday the 13th films because they're not
Yeah, someone's
sophisticated
asking, how
enough.
the hell did A24 get that?
I don't fucking know.
Well, they were in the rights issues for years, like
Mhm.
a lawsuit for
Oh,
years.
yeah, because of the writer of the first film who barely even wrote. He didn't even write as much as he thinks he did, but I guess he had enough of a case that he was able to
Victor
essentially
Miller.
take things to court.
I don't want to see any more with Friday the 13th. I'm sorry, these franchises are
Mhm.
done. But Halloween, well, you did a great job with your Halloween Ends rant, by the
Thank
way.
you. Thank you.
And now that you saw that, yeah, it's dog shit movie.
I mean, I've said it all, when it comes to that film, like, it that was so bad. Um, it just made Halloween Kills even more pointless. Even though I don't mind the film as a time waster for the kills, like, now it's completely pointless in terms of the story because, like, it doesn't even connect to anything. It doesn't connect to Halloween Ends in barely any capacity whatsoever. Like, you could have just not
And but
even had the events of Halloween Kills and just go from Halloween 2018 to Halloween Ends, and you wouldn't have missed fucking anything. I guess other than the daughter
daughter.
dying and a couple other deaths, but other than that, that's all that was material, I guess, when it comes to the.
Yeah, I agree with that. That sounds perfect. That sounds, is that what
Yeah,
A24 will
exactly.
do?
Yeah. But it's a series. It's not a movie. It's a series. It's gonna be
Yeah, I
streaming.
know, but so it'll be even more boring.
It'll be
Stretched out for
stretched.
bullshit.
Yeah, it'll be stretched out to like 6 to 8 hours and like multiple episodes. It'd just be
By the way,
slow
someone's
burn.
asking, did you ever hear about Lamb? I reviewed that movie,
Yeah,
the
I heard
A24
about that
Lamb,
one.
about
I haven't seen it
the
yet, but
baby,
yeah, that one is
baby lamb
just a fucking
person,
pretentious,
fucking lamb chop,
weird ass
fucking
film.
lamb chop. Yeah,
Folks, I did see Barbarian. The film, the latest horror film that's getting all this hype. The scariest film of the
I've
year.
heard that was dumb.
It's so good. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was honestly pretty lame. Like, at best, it was below average for me. I do not understand the crazy amount of hype for it. And of course, when you come out with like a different opinion than the norm, you get people all butthurt about it online, like
Well,
leaving
that's
angry
everything.
posts and everything. I know, I just find it hilarious because I'm just like, one guy was like,
It's
"Shut
everything.
the fuck up," and I'm like, uh, sorry, I
Nope.
busted your bubble, dude. I, I have a different opinion.
Sorry, you're not in a safe space anymore. Safe space is kick down the fucking door and piss off.
But yeah, I'm getting tired of films getting a pass for dumb writing because it's supposed to be dumb, or they're saying it's satire, but it's lazy attempts at satire, which isn't even really satirizing anything. Like if you just have dumb scenes with dumb people doing dumb things, that by itself is not a satire. That's just dumb characters and dumb plot lines. I mean, it's kind of like what happened with Cabin in the Woods. Remember when that came out, Matt? And that got all this crazy amount of praise, and we're like, "This film is
Yeah.
stupid." And they're like, "No, it's clever. It's brilliant. It satirizes all these cliches." I'm like, "How? It just has cliches."
Yeah.
And Barbarian is another one of those films where it relies so much
Well,
on
one quick one.
swerves.
Everyone else, real quick. Don't do anything to Burgos die, so I will block him. So when he comes back on, no one does it because I will block him that way. I think people are accidentally overdoing it to keep him in, as ruining the chat. So don't do anything. Let me do it. Because I think like people are trying to do. Sorry, someone's like it's like a bot type of thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
just sorry about that. Just
One
one
of those
second.
things.
There, because I think like one like moderator was doing it, but then one was undoing it and blah blah blah. So there we go.
That's interesting. Huh.
So
Fucking bots.
yeah, I think it's like one of those bots that has a lot of stuff
Yeah.
on it. So, but go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so Barbarian is also one of those films where it can't seem to pick a tone and stick with it. It's all over the place. It also swerves so much in terms of its storyline that it's like a drunk driver, and it was just annoying. And I know for some people that
Mhm.
was a huge plus, like when it was swerving all over the place. They thought it was unpredictable and it was interesting and teach their own. Like I can't stand films that swerve this much. It just ruins the flow of the film for me. I'd rather a movie be a little bit more streamlined, maybe have a couple swerves here and there instead of weaving all over the place, going from one story to the next, then in the middle of that story, flashing back to the 80s with scenes of Richard Brake shopping for diapers, then cutting back to, current day. I just I'm not a big fan of that storytelling. Most of the time, you have to be a really good writer to pull that off. Um, and normally it has to be some sort of anthology setup. Like for instance, Pulp Fiction. Like Pulp Fiction has like timelines that are kind of jumping a little bit, but the way that things are tied together is actually really well done. So it doesn't feel as jarring as Barbarian does, for instance. Like people think it's a good thing, Matt, that all of a sudden it feels like it's a completely different film, like 40 minutes in, where it just smash cuts to Justin Long driving on the highway singing a song. Like after you had a scene with the mother in the tunnel attacking somebody. And I'm like, I I don't really agree with that. I don't think that's a good thing by default because it's surprising. It's just randomness. It doesn't help either that Justin Long's character is a fucking asshole, and I don't like him at all. So any of the
Mhm.
scenes with him are just boring because I don't really care for this character. And it's just the other stuff prior to that was people being dumb, being stupid, and winning stupid prizes. And then you get to the ending, and that's even unsatisfying because the inbred mutant mother doesn't even get killed on screen. They take some art house approach with her getting shot off screen or some shit. So even that's not satisfying. But 10 out of
Mhm.
10. Best horror film of the year. You know, maybe horror films this year aren't that great. So if this is like the best horror film of the year, that's not saying much.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because I've heard a lot of people have been saying this year has been really good for mainstream like Hollywood horror. And I haven't I other than I can't even say Fresh is a mainstream Hollywood horror film because it streamed on Hulu. It didn't even get a theatrical release. So other than Fresh and like The Black Phone, which I liked but didn't love, like all the other horror films I've seen this year in 2022, I've either been underwhelmed by or I thought sucked. So it has not been a good year for horror to me because X didn't cut it for me. Uh, Scream 5 was shit. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 film was bad. Uh, the of course Halloween Ends, that was horrible. Is there a horror film you saw this year, Matt? That was like mainstream that was released in theaters other than The Black Phone that you didn't mind?
This way, Mike. For some reason, like today's been like a weird thing because some I don't know troll bot keeps coming in, and I've
Oh,
never seen this before. It's like this multiple thing that keeps going. I have no idea how to
jeez.
stop it because anytime you block it,
Jesus
it comes
Christ.
back, and I have no idea what it is. Haven't seen this before,
God damn it.
so I apologize, people. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I don't know what else to do, guys. I have no idea what's going on with this. Yeah, but it's this weird thing. Like, I've never seen this before. I have no idea what's going on. So the people out there, again, I apologize. I have no idea what's going on with this.
Hmm.
Must be a Barbarian fan. Yeah,
I guess so.
yeah, maybe it's a Barbarian fan. I didn't mind the Black Phone. I didn't mind Nope. I didn't mind those two
Yeah,
films.
I still need to see Nope.
So I didn't mind those two.
Mhm. Like, I don't think it's been one of the best years for horror when it comes to, like, mainstream Hollywood films. Like, I don't agree with that, but that's just me personally. Was like half the films that have come out in theaters this year have been fucking sequels?
That's what it seems like. Or maybe he is a fan of Clerks 3. Maybe that's what it was.
We talk too much shit about Clerks 3.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's Kevin Smith.
If you've
I
seen
mean,
some of the clips, of Kevin Smith, I don't know. I don't it seems like he has a lot of free time to hang out on the internet, so that wouldn't be too surprising.
yes, I mean, you never know. But again, I apologize to the people in the chat. Just the modders will do what they can. Just feel free to just keep going and uh, post wherever it is. I'll get to whoever I can, or we'll just talk about it as well. You guys can just listen as well. But Crime in the Future, I did a review of it. That was a David Cronenberg film. Did you ever see that?
I haven't seen it yet. I was curious about it, but no, I haven't seen that one yet. Um, it's one of those things where I've heard things about it. I think you did a review of it. You weren't a fan of it. It seems like it's pretty dull. Not really that compelling in terms of the characters or the plot, even though there's some freaky looking practical effects here and there. It sounds like kind of a misfire. Sounds like another instance of a director who's been so out of touch with a particular style of filmmaking for so long
Hmm.
that when they jump back into it, they just don't really have the same flow and rhythm. And that's kind of what I've been getting from thoughts that I've heard about the film, which isn't really that surprising considering David Cronenberg hasn't directed anything body horror related for years. I think maybe Existence was like the last thing that he did like that. Because then he did a lot of these dramas, did Crimes of
Yeah.
the Future, not Crimes of the Future, Eastern Promises, and American. What is it? That's a different movie. Can't remember what
Hmm.
History of Violence.
Mm.
So he did those films, did a couple other dramas. He wasn't really doing anything, anywhere near close to the body horror genre. And even Existence wasn't that great either, if you ask me. Like I was just kind of on that too. So it is what it is. It just seems like that's the case with a lot of these directors. They come back, either they come out of retirement and the results are really lackluster, like with what happened with Walter Hill, or they try to tackle something that used to be right up their alley, used to be their comfort zone, and other than just the visual, the aesthetic, they just aren't able to nail the other aspects of it.
Hmm. Black Adam, I didn't see. There's not much I can say about it. I didn't see Black Adam.
I know a lot of critics didn't like that one at all, and that got a lot of DC fans all pissy about it, and it led to I think a good large number of them like giving the film like a 10 out of 10 on IMDb or some of these other places to try to jack the score up.
Hmm.
Predictable response.
What I might try to do is I'll end the stream and re-put this up and see if it fixes that. So,
Okay.
because this getting ridiculous, and if not,
Yeah.
then maybe just wait another day. But
What
we'll be right
what is
back.
what kind of spam is it, Matt?
I think it's a person that's like able to throw like a bunch of spam, just repeating the same sentence over and over
Oh,
again.
okay. Okay. All right. You could maybe put the what's in that sentence in like
I don't know how to turn on slow mode. How you turn on slow mode? I don't know how you turn on slow mode, guys.
I
How
don't
do
know
you
how to
turn
do
on
that
slow mode
either.
in here? Does anyone know? Let me look at this. Let me ask. Google it. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess I could do that. You might have to do that like before you do the stream.
Oh,
I'm trying to think.
yeah.
Let me double check real quick.
There's also possibly a way you could, I don't know if it works on the same way on the stream, Matt, but you could maybe go through um and put certain words into like it's a special
Why?
like thing.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me double check real quick, guys. Sorry, let me check.
Hmm.
Edit customization. So let me see. Let me try to do this. Maybe I should do it if I just go on the. Sorry, I mean, if you want to bring up anything, you're in the middle of a why, do this, feel free. Or if not, that's fine. I'm going to try to go to the edit
Uh-huh.
part of this stream and see what I can do.
Okay.
Go to live, just go to edit. Nothing. Anything you've seen lately or stuff other than Barbarian?
Not really. Like I said, just Interview with a Vampire, Queen of the Damned. Queen of the Damned, I know Aaliyah passed away and that's tragic. And there are some scenes with her, like the scene in the bar that was pretty awesome. But a lot of that's just really what's happening in the scene, like in the soundtrack. It's not really Aaliyah being amazing. And I wasn't that impressed by her. I got to be honest. I don't think her acting was really that good. But there really wasn't a lot of great acting in that film. Period. Stuart Townsend wasn't that great either as Lestat. I don't even know why this was tied into Interview with the Vampire to begin with. because it just didn't really feel like it belonged in the same universe. Like you had characters from the Interview with the Vampire lore, but like none of it made any sense. They're all acting and behaving ways that don't match their character, like Lestat. They completely butchered that character in that movie. I can see why fans of the novels don't like that film just for that alone. And there's some really laughable like CGI in that of like vampires like jumping in the air, and then
Well, I got slow mode on, so I did get that.
I don't know what they were trying to do. They're trying to like make it seem like they're in fast forward, but the way that it just looks very herky jerky and weird. And I will say this though, that film has a really good soundtrack. Like that's a pretty badass soundtrack. And for that film. Um it would have been better if it was just a rock and roll vampire film about like a vampire who's the head of a new hit heavy metal band, and it wasn't even connected at all to Interview with a Vampire.
Hmm.
Do you remember that one, Matt?
No,
Queen of the Damned?
no, I don't remember at all. I don't remember. I don't remember seeing the film. There we go.
I don't, I
Slow
don't,
mode on.
I don't
One
blame
minute
you.
40 seconds, and then the moderators can take care of the rest. So I apologize for that, folks. Never happened before. I don't think it's a bot. It is a real person. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I've heard a lot of that stuff lately. A lot of people doing a lot of weird stuff, or a lot of
yeah,
people happen. A lot of people like they're.
yeah.
I guess that time of year, Halloween,
Uh huh.
just after Halloween, just people want to mess with other people. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
So it is what it
Yes.
is.
So if they use like the same term like over and over and over again, you could go to
Well, they would
your
just do another term.
yeah. They
So
would just do another term exactly.
because if it's a real person, so that wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's probably a
And no, I
real
don't care about
person
Avatar
using.
too.
It's a real person using a bot, probably, because there's no way that one person's just
Yeah,
spam.
I don't know I don't know how that works. No,
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Avatar 2, like the 3 hour and 10-minute long epic that James Cameron
Not
said, "Well,
interested.
you could go to the bathroom." It's like,
I could
yeah.
not go at all.
I know, right?
I could do that too.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to, with this real quick, with that stuff happening, at least you guys know when we say this crazy stuff happens, we're not making it up.
Uh-huh.
We have a lot of crazy stories throughout the years of YouTube. And I
Yep.
think sometimes people think we're making it up. You
Uh-huh.
guys get to witness this stuff every stream. We're not making it up.
Nope.
There's a lot of crazy shit. So proves that we're not crazy. We're not making things up.
Yeah,
But go figure.
we've had hate videos made about us. Some of them are still online actually, even though like I've continuously asked you to
Yeah,
delete
it
them.
don't matter. They
And
do
that's
to
funny.
you. I
And that's
still
it,
live in my
and
life.
that's hilarious because I'm like, this is totally against your guidelines, YouTube. Like, what? And they're like,
I don't.
yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
watch
care.
them. I don't care.
I don't watch them either. So, but
No,
it's
Bros. I don't care about Bros. That movie, especially when
oh
whoever was
yeah,
it, the director Riley got butthurt about
he
it.
was the star
Well,
who got
no
butthurt
pun
about it,
intended.
and he basically threw out the homophobic card. He was like, if you didn't go see it, then you're homophobe, and then guilt tripped a bunch, other gay people to see his film. I'm friends with a gay man, and I talked to him about it, and he was like, "This, I'm not gonna go see it. That especially not after he tries to guilt trip me into seeing it. Like, oh, I have to
Well,
go
didn't
see
they
it now
say?
because I'm gay and I have to go see the movie."
Didn't they say it's not meant for straight people? Isn't that what something they
Hmm.
said, or is that
Yeah, yeah.
what? What was it?
Well, that there's a line of dialogue in it where it says, "Oh, straight people, they had they had a nice run, didn't they?" Ha 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 ha, or whatever. Yeah, that's an actual line of dialogue in the trailer.
And it's like, okay, fine, then I won't say it. I mean, like, I won't say it, see it, think it, feel it. I fuck
Like,
it
I don't
then.
understand why they thought that that was a good selling point. Like, there were probably a lot of people saw the trailer and saw that line, like, "Well, fine, it's not for me then. I'm not gonna go
By the way,
watch it."
how many of those type of comedies actually become big hits in the past couple years?
Not many.
There's that really a thing nowadays?
That was another point that people were making is that rom-coms are
Yeah, rom
underperforming.
coms.
They're underperforming lately unless it has like a big cast.
Or if it was like back in the day, Julia Roberts, Runaway
Mhm.
Bride type of stuff. But
But I mean,
lately, like, again, what was the
even Julia Roberts and George Clooney, they just came out with another rom-com, and I don't even think it's been doing that well. In fact, I saw
that's what I was gonna say.
advertisements for it for streaming.
What was the last big rom com hit?
Been a
Anyone in
while.
the chat?
I know there was like the proposal with the. I know you could technically say the Lost City is a rom-com, and that didn't do that great with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. It was all right. It was okay. Not one of my favorites from this year, but if you like those two, it's time waster.
Hey, Michael does life. But yeah, that's the thing with the bros thing is that they're talking about how people don't like it, and if you're, I don't understand this type of thinking. Rom coms are not successful. They haven't been successful for a long time. People are having a hard time finding the last successful rom com because, to be honest, with the way
Ticket to
inflation,
Paradise, I guess,
gas,
made some
everything
money.
is. But I mean,
Ticket
the
to
way things are,
Paradise,
people
yeah,
just watch that streaming. They would go wait for
uh-huh,
streaming and just watch it if that's
yeah.
what they want to do.
So
Nowadays, it's a big movie. It's what's that movie?
Ticket to Paradise is the one I was talking about with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. It just came out. It has a budget of 60 million. It's made 128 worldwide, but that's worldwide gross. That's not just domestic. Um, Domestically, it only made 36,
But I'm just
which
saying,
is
like those big money makers
that's
from
not
back in the
good.
day.
36 million
That was never a big
domestically,
thing.
that's not a good total for a film that cost like 60 million. So it'll probably wind up breaking even, but it's not going to be a huge hit.
It's these ridiculous things that people say to either elicit controversy to try to get or guilt you or just try to be a legend in their own mind. Like the fucking person saying, "Hey, white people, you don't go see Black Panther 2 this weekend."
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
good. I didn't want to see it ever. Good.
Or they'd be like, if you don't see it this weekend, then you're racist.
But then someone said, if I do see it, I'm racist. It was so which is it? Either I'm supposed to see it or I'm not supposed to see it. Because I see two black people, and one told me not to see it, and one told me to see it, and one says if I don't see it, I'm racist, and one says if I do see it, I'm racist.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck am I supposed to
I
do
know.
then?
I know.
How about you kiss
I
my
know.
ass? I don't want to see the fucking movie because I thought the first film fucking sucked. Because I thought it was a shitty movie. I don't
Uh-huh.
care about the color of his skin. I care about the movie, and I thought it sucked.
Yeah,
Give me Blade and Blade 2 any day,
this is
and
what
twice on Tuesday.
Eichner this is what Billy Eichner from Bros
Yeah,
tweeted.
exactly. Everything's racist.
He's like,
It's
everyone
like that
who
fucking
isn't.
article. Or go ahead.
This is what Billy Eichner tweeted after the dismal box office opening of his film. Everyone who isn't a homophobic weirdo should go see Bros tonight. You will have a blast, and it is special and uniquely powerful to see this particular story on the big screen, especially if you're queer folks who don't get this opportunity often. I love this movie so much. Go Bros. I just don't know
But
why.
what if it looks shitty? Why would I see it
Yeah,
if it looks shitty?
I know. I know.
Didn't like the first Black. Exactly. I mean, that first Black Panther. Sorry, we'll go back to Bros, but real quick, like that first Black Panther, horrible CGI at the end,
Yeah, that was like
and
PlayStation 1
two, two
level.
maybe.
PlayStation PS2. Okay, that's a little more fair. PS2 graphics. I saw that in
And
the theater, by the way. I saw Black Panther in the theater, and
and
I
that got
liked it.
nominated for Best Picture
Okay,
Oscar.
when after I saw it in the theater, but then I watched it again, and then I'm like, I don't really care for
Here,
this
let me
film
ask
that
you this:
much.
is that a Best Picture nominee?
Fuck
Because it
no.
was.
Absolutely fucking not.
Anyone in the chat, when you did it, what makes Black Panther a picture nominee? Because it
Winter
was.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier had a better argument for being nominated for Best Picture than Black Panther.
Michael Mann's Heat doesn't get nominated for Best Picture,
Mm-mm.
but fucking Black Panther does.
But it's the Oscars.
Michael
I mean,
Mann,
the Oscars. I wasn't surprised because the Oscars, as of late, let's be honest, have just been trying to get as many virtue points and brownie points as it
that's a
possibly can.
that's a good point. We'll go back to
Yeah,
Bros. That did
yeah.
well
Mm-hmm.
because people thought it was a good movie. This one, they looked at the trailer and they pretty much the trailer is saying, if you straight, eat this. That's what they
Uh
did on the
huh.
trailer. Hey, if you straight, you suck. Then why the hell would I want to support your movie? If you tell me I suck because of my
Yeah.
taste or because of my skin color, then why the fuck should I watch your
Mm-hmm.
goddamn movie?
This is an
I mean,
actual
am I
comment.
wrong?
You're not wrong at all, because there are other people who share that exact same sentiment. This is an actual comment from
Uh,
Deadline that after what happened with Billy Eichner a while back. This is from a guy named Jay, and he says, "I am gay. I walked out of the movie in 5 minutes. It is vulgar. I do not enjoy that sort of humor, and I resent that I'm being raked over the coals by a gay film creator for living in a certain part of the country. This movie just sucked. Gay or straight or whatever. Crappy movies are crappy movies anywhere in the country I go."
yeah,
So
but yeah, I mean, and who said that?
a guy named Jay on Deadline .com. It's a website. He left a
Jay
comment.
Jay on them. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
just
he'll be called homophobic. Guarantee you he'll be called homophobic,
even
and
though he's
I'm surprised
gay.
he didn't get. He's a traitor. That's the word. He's a traitor. You're a traitor to the cause.
uh, here's another one from
Yeah,
Glenn. He
should have
says,
been Blade and Blade 2
I
nominated.
really wanted to like Bros. The storyline, the lack of tenderness, the four ways, the old jokes made this movie hard to watch. Luke and the supporting cast was good, but Billy, you were not a believable leading man. I cringed when you kissed. You were always angry and bitter. It would have been nice if you didn't hog every scene. It would have been nice to see your co-star shine. I nearly walked out with my friends halfway. I'm gay, and it was embarrassing. Sorry. So there's a lot of gay people
Wait,
who are all like,
Chase.
yeah,
Wait, Chase. That really happens in the movie?
huh.
In the
That's
first grade?
that's.
Why is any kid, whether you're gay or straight, no one should be talking about sex to first graders?
No, no, no.
What is the reason? Can someone please make me understand
It's
this?
a political thing, Matt. That's what it is. It's a political reason. It's all about politics and whatever.
Fuck
Just like
politics.
I've heard that She-Hulk, like She-Hulk is so bad. Like
Yeah,
She-Hulk
we heard about yeah.
She-Hulk doesn't even have like a final like battle between She-Hulk and like her supervillain. She gets involved in like a petty uh legal battle over the trademark She-Hulk with this other
Is she too
uh
busy
super,
twerking?
yeah. But her main
Twerking the
supervillain,
night
like
away.
she fights her a little bit in the courtroom in one episode, and then in like episode 5, she just takes her to court because this supervillain use the She-Hulk name on her makeup products, and so
Hmm.
She-Hulk takes her to court, and I'm like, that's what you give the female superhero in her own show. That's what you give her. You give her like a battle in a courtroom with her supervillain over makeup products and trademarks. Yeah, that's I just
What?
it's second grade
I,
is too early.
you know what's funny? The other day,
I think
I
there's
watched
a
this movie. It was Request called
mhm,
Talk Radio
mhm.
with Eric
That's a
Bogosian.
great film. I actually
Really
did
enjoyed it.
a
It's the first time I saw it.
a monologue from that film for one of my acting classes.
Was it the finale?
Yeah.
The one from the finale?
Mhm.
Yeah, that review's coming up. I tried to do that monologue too. You know what's sad? Even though I kind of get what he's saying in a way too,
Mhm.
with the way the world is today, but
Yeah.
he's not the most likable guy. Eric
No.
Bogosian's character, but I kind of get what he's saying as well when you look at the world of today.
Mhm.
You just change talk radio to Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit.
Yeah, this whole thing where he's like, I should hang. I'm a hypocrite. I ask for sincerity and I lie. I denounce the system as I embrace it. I want money, and power and prestige. I want ratings and success. And I don't give a damn about you or the world. That's the truth. For that, I could say I'm sorry, but I won't. Why should I? I mean, who the hell are you, anyways? You audience? You're on me every night like a pack of wolves because you can't stand facing what you are and what you've made. Yes, the world is a terrible place. Yes, cancer and garbage disposals will get you. Yes, a war is coming. Yes, the world is shot to hell and you're all goners. Everything's screwed up and you like it that way, don't you? You're fascinated by the gory details. You're mesmerized by your own fear. You revel in floods and car accidents, unstoppable diseases. You're happiest when others are in pain. And that's where I come in, isn't it? I'm here to lead you by the hands through the dark forest of your own hatred and anger and humiliation. I'm providing you a public service. You're so scared. You're like a little child under the covers. You're afraid of the boogeyman, but you can't live without him. Your fear, your own lives have become your entertainment. Next month, millions of people are going to be listening to this show, and you'll have nothing to talk about. Marvelous technology is at our disposal, and instead of reaching up to new heights, we're going to see how far down we can go, how deep into the muck we can immerse ourselves. What do you want to talk about, Baseball scores? Your pet? Orgasms?
Orgasms.
You're pathetic. I despise each and every one of you. You've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. No brains, no power, no future, no hope, no God. The only thing you believe in is me. What are you if you don't have me? I'm not afraid, see? I come in here every night. I make my case. I make my point. I say what I believe in. I tell you what you are. I have to. I have no choice. You frighten me. I come in here every night. I tear into you. I abuse you. I insult you. And you just keep coming back for more. What's wrong with you? Why do you keep calling? I don't want to hear anymore. Stop talking. Go away. Bunch of yellow bellied, spineless, bigoted, quivering, drunken, insomniatic, paranoid, disgusting, perverted, voyeuristic, little obscene phone callers. That's what you are. What the hell with you? I don't need your inferior stupidity. You don't get it. It's wasted on you. Pearls before swine. If one person out there had any idea about what I'm talking about. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
hadn't done that in oh god. I think I did that
What
in
was
like
that for?
acting class.
Oh wait, what was a? There you go. I mean, that is really like the network, the movie Network. That
Mhm.
speech. I'm as bad
Yep.
as hell. And
Mhm.
again, it's like he's not a likable guy, and he's
No.
at fault to a point, but at the same time, these people call in that are a lot or bigoted or this and
Mm-hmm.
that or very stupid or something, they're
Yep.
also part of the problem as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think Mike's been in any movies, but you did take acting class.
Yeah, I've taken a few acting classes. I did musical theater in high school, taken a few acting classes in college. So I think I got it. I do think I got like an A on that monologue. So
Rough Wave, Dave. No, don't no future Medea requests as of yet.
ooh,
uh, DJ's asking what you're drinking.
it's just water. It's Essentia water. Well, actually, it's not really Essentia water. I just reuse the bottle. I do have uh, I do have like a special cup, but I haven't. I can get it right now. I just haven't been using it.
I mean, you don't have to. Yeah, but other than it's funny. Started this off complaining about Clerks 3 because sadly I saw that movie. Dune 2021. I'll finish it later, but I was 35 minutes in. I'm like, fuck. I'll wait and finish this. Is it is not for me, I guess, but
What for Dune?
yeah. And then,
So
I mean, it's automatically better than Clerks 3. I'll say that.
this is from Fright Rags.
Fry rags, okay.
Yeah, they announced this line of like cups, so I figured Rebel Cop, so had to get
Ooh.
that. Um, I actually watched this like a week or two ago. Excessive Force, Thomas Ian Griffith. I don't know if you remember that one or not, Matt.
I barely remember it because
I
that
had fun with
was
it.
what year did that
Pretty
come
good.
out?
I think it was like 90 something. Yeah, it was like a night
Because that was that
in
time that I mean,
90s.
there's action movies I do enjoy from like Taking to Beverly Hills,
Mm-hmm.
Touchdown Asshole,
Yeah, that's a great one.
Just Even ones, and Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, Hard Target. That was one I just didn't see much of Excessive Force. I mean, um,
1993.
mm, good year. Hard Target, Cliffhanger, Demolition Man,
I would recommend
Last
it.
Action
I
Hero.
had a lot of fun with it. It's like pretty quick. It's like 87 something minutes. It's not very long. It's got a really good cast. I mean, you've got not only do you have Thomas Ian Griffith, but you have Charlotte Lewis, who plays the love interest. You have Lance Henriksen, who plays, of course, the bad guy. You got James Earl Jones. You also have Tony Todd, who plays like one of Thomas Ian Griffith's like partners. And yeah, it's a good cast. Burt Young's also in it, plays a mob boss. And Thomas Ian Griffith, I thought he did a pretty solid job playing a leading uh action role. Definitely a lot better than Ulterior Motives. The film was boring as hell, barely any action.
I didn't mind the one Hollow Point with
Yeah.
was it Tia Carrera?
Yeah,
No,
I think it was Tia
it
Carrere.
was. Thank you, Kim. She's saying, "Hope you feel better."
Yeah, I feel a little bit better. As you can see, otherwise I wouldn't be able to monologue for you.
Someone was asking about Bringing Out the Dead. I liked it. Decent, pretty good
Yeah, it's a
Scorsese
good
film.
one. Pretty underrated, actually. I don't think it actually has a Blu-ray. I don't think it has a Blu-ray yet, for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Maybe it's a little too close to home, a little too controversial or whatever. I know, going back to Excessive Force, I know it has a sequel, which I always thought was hilarious. The subtitle, Excessive Force 2, Force on Force.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that back in the day and laughing at the trailer. Just like how many times they don't say force,
I know.
force of the force. Uh, oh God, who's the worst screenwriter? Dan Mancini or Rob Zombie? I have to say Rob Zombie. Sadly,
Yeah, because Don Mancini, at least he did Child's Play 2 and 3. And those scripts are actually pretty decent.
yeah. Yeah, I like those. Rob Zombie though. You haven't seen the Monsters. That was pretty
No, but
awful.
I will. Like I was gonna do a lot more this Halloween season, but
Well, you got sick.
I got
It's
sick.
understandable.
Then I had other stuff, that I had to deal with, and it just time got away with me from me. But I'm gonna make up for it in uh, in November.
Thank you for the kind
Hey
words.
there, thanks, man. I did order some stuff from Arrow Videos recent sale. I haven't opened them yet, so they're brand spanking new. Deadly Games,
Mm.
um, Girls Night Out
Hmm.
with the teddy bear slasher. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer 4K, and Flatliners.
Cool. Yeah, I got a few things. The only two I'll mention now is love this movie. Rest in peace to
Nice.
Mike Shank.
I still need to see
Sadly, he
that
passed
film.
away.
I saw the trailer. I
You
thought it
do.
looked funny, and I still need to check that out. I have the DVD.
Yeah. Sadly, it's nothing new from the DVD, but it was just great to see it. And sadly, this
Yeah.
guy passed away this
Hmm.
year. So, but definitely recommend. And unofficially, to be fair, about this
Ah.
widescreen. So it actually
Yeah.
looks like 185 1080p.
Yeah, I've
So,
seen like a Watcher's widescreen rip floating around. I got
no
more
fuck Chris
stuff.
Stucky.
I got more stuff, but I don't want to get it right now. I spent like a couple hours today just reorganizing and moving stuff around. So,
Why are you watching so many Ty West movies? I saw your Facebook. Was that a request?
one of them's a request, House of the Devil. I was just curious. I'm just like,
Oh, okay.
let's just see where, how Ty West is, from the beginning. Like where did he start off from? I find that to be kind of interesting when you go back and look at a filmmaker's earlier work, just to kind of see, where they jumped off from. Not everyone starts off like John Carpenter, but even John Carpenter didn't necessarily start. I mean, Dark Star. I've tried to get into that. I've tried to get into that so many times. It's not for me. It's just not for me. I don't like Dark Star.
Well,
And
what was it? Someone said it's like it's probably fine as like a student film. Like, wow,
yeah,
look what they did. But when it's a
yeah,
theatrical film, it just looks like a weak theatrical film.
yeah,
While it looks like a impressive student film for what they could do. Oh,
yeah,
but it looks like a very cheap theatrical film
yeah, exactly.
because it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Um, but yeah, Carpenter. I'm glad Carpenter hasn't tried to do another film. I don't want to see him do another movie. Just stay retired.
But he's too busy smoking weed and playing video games. So,
Yep. And
which hey man,
roasting people at conventions. What happened? What the hell happened with Escape from L.A.? Fuck you.
let's see.
Or they're asking
Someone's
John
saying,
Carpenter is like, what's your thoughts on elevated horror, John? It's like, what?
yeah, he doesn't know what the hell that was. What the hell is that? He hasn't heard of the A24 film.
I will give
Apparently.
the writer of Barbarian this. I'm glad that he did try to do something different and it wasn't just another remake or sequel or so on. And I do give him credit for shitting on the term elevated horror. He actually had there was like an interview recently where he just completely like talks shit about the elevated horror term and I'm like, "Good."
Yeah, the ward was pretty bad. The
Yeah.
ward,
It was so generic
sadly.
and below average. Like if you didn't know that John Carpenter directed that, there would be no reason for you to think that he was even involved with the film.
John Carpenter gave praise to Halloween Ends. Well, the paycheck cleared.
Yeah.
The paycheck cleared.
I mean, we've seen that before from other filmmakers or writers. I mean, I think it was was it Ed Norma? It was like one of the writers of RoboCop praised the remake.
Even though it
I mean,
sucks.
yeah, I'm like,
Because like how it ends
I
sucks.
don't give a shit if one of the writers of RoboCop praised the remake. It still sucks
Good
ass.
for them. Good for
No,
them.
good for Carpenter. Has his own opinion on things. I do find it hilarious though that David Gordon Green was asking John Carpenter if the scripts was a little bit too much like Christine, and John Carpenter just humored him or whatever, and it said no. But
Or he was high on weed and he thought it
yeah,
was.
he thought he was so
Carpenter did
high.
say he's a tap.
He was so high on
It says
weed. He was so high on weed. He thought he was back filming Christine again.
Carpenter did say he's a capitalist. Yeah, I mean, he said for remakes, if the check clears, it's fine.
Yeah, if there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll do anything you say.
Johnny Jerry, no, Predators didn't grow on me. It's just after the dog shit I've seen with Prey and The
Yeah,
Predator,
and
it sadly looks better.
I rewatched Predators because I was going backwards just to see, and I still didn't like it, but I thought it was better than Prey or The Predator. So
Yeah. It's just that, it looks better when you compare it to worse crap.
hmm it's like comparing
Oh,
Halloween Ends to Halloween Kills. Like I know you're still not a fan of that,
yeah,
but you'll take that over Halloween Ends.
Sally, yeah. How it ends. How do you feel when Hard Target showed up? I don't remember if you mentioned that in the
I
review,
didn't
but
mention that, but yeah, I kind of I did chuckle because I was like, oh man, it really is like they watch Matt's channel.
they saw
No,
me do it one day showing this,
yeah,
and they're like, fuck that guy. No, they don't know who the hell I am.
I know,
That's it. I mean,
I
yeah, they
know,
don't know who the hell I am, but
but that would be like
I'm
if
like, what?
now what if it was like Hard Target and then there was also RoboCop. Yeah. Instead of like the thing, it's RoboCop
Well,
at one point.
Christine,
Yeah.
remember we used to call you Aren't
Yep.
you're the lead from Christine?
Yep.
Maybe they saw one of our old
Shitters.
videos. They saw one of our old podcasts.
Yeah.
We were shitting on the theme prequel. We are talking about Arnie, Christine, and me loving Hard Target. Maybe they saw one of our old podcasts from like 2011 or 2012.
It's like
I don't know. Just
fuck those losers.
fuck the Americans.
We'll show them.
I like what John says here. Elevator horror, what? They're horror filmmakers who are high as hell. That's why they're elevator. They're so high they can't see the floor anymore.
No,
Like Kevin
it's
Smith in his
elevated
fucking
horror
white,
because their heads are elevated right up their asshole.
like a or like a goddamn balloon from Up.
Mhm.
Fucking, it's like Kevin Smith, the wide-eyed pot smoking fuck.
Like I saw a Facebook
By the way,
post
can
where
I
they're
just say,
like,
fuck Kevin Smith? I just want to say that right now at the end. I'll say it more times. Fuck Kevin Smith. All right, go ahead.
I saw a
Fuck that
Facebook
asshole.
post where somebody was like posting, like talking about like which director, like modern horror director, would you pick? And they had Ari Aster, they had what the Robert Eggers, who did The Lighthouse. They had
Mm,
trying to remember who else, but they had like a bunch of like the A24 type artsy
hmm
fartsy horror directors, and I was like, none of them. I'm not gonna pick any of them. Can you give me someone else? I'm not gonna pick any of these guys.
Isaac Florentine. He's an
If
action director. I don't care. I'd rather see him try than these assholes.
Scott Derrickson, give me Scott Derrickson. Can I pick Scott Derrickson? I'd rather pick Scott Derrickson. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, we know Ted White passed away, who was Jason, Friday the
Yeah.
30th Part 4. It's too bad.
May you rest in peace.
And yeah, Shelley Duvall's return to acting, I think, is a mistake because of the. I still remember that Dr. Phil stuff where
Yeah.
she was
What
not in her right
what is she going to
reconnaissance.
be doing? Like, what kind of roles is she even to be taking? And what even kind of roles is she gonna get? Speaking of like
Rob
old,
Zombie movie, probably.
oh my god.
You could see
Um,
that. Look what Rob Zombie's cast before.
yeah, 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 yeah. Um,
Kevin Smith had a heart attack like a decade ago by this point or
uh-huh.
something.
What are
I
your
mean,
thoughts, Matt, on David Gordon Green's Exorcist trilogy?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care either.
The only
And
one I liked was the third one, honestly.
I'm a bigger fan of the original, the first film than Matt is. And even I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, why are we doing this? Especially after Halloween ends. Like any hype that I think, well, not any, but a lot of hype that people might have had for that trilogy has now died down a lot after Halloween ends because they're like, oh shit, well, look what he fucking did with
Well,
Halloween ends.
I don't know. Look how easy people forget, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's the budget for those? Was it like 100 million or something?
It's millions. Like it's an insane amount of money because Blumhouse had to spend like out the ass to get the rights,
I guess they're really hoping for that Conjuring money.
hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm like,
And it's like a
I
trilogy.
yeah, it's a trilogy. I guess
What can you? I mean, there's been
Ellen
so.
Burstyn is coming back, but I haven't heard anything about Linda Blair. And I'm like, well, if you don't have Linda Blair, then like, what even really is even the point? Also, we don't need him anyway. We don't need any more Exorcist films. Exorcist
What
3
more can?
was all we really
What more can you
needed.
do with a possession movie that they haven't done in the
I know.
past 10 years? That was like
I know.
for a while. It was like every other horror movie was a possession movie. Exorcism of Emily Rose, the
Yeah.
Possession of Michael
Well, I
King.
mean, after The
Uh,
Exorcist came out, there was a whole new genre that was the Exorcist ripoff.
$400 million, man. I mean, to make a profit, fuck is a profit? To make a profit, how much money would you have to make?
A lot.
At least double,
Yeah, a lot.
right?
Yeah, a lot of money in the post-pandemic era. I don't know. But I mean that the Halloween trilogy, at least the first two films made a ton of money. Halloween Ends made profit, but it didn't do nearly as well in the box office as the other two.
Jesus Christ.
I wonder I honestly wonder what the stats are of like walkouts for Halloween Ends. Like
Or like how much is
the kid falls off the staircase. I'm like, "Ah, well, fuck this, man. I'm out of here."
well, they could always say they walked out, but doesn't mean they really
Yeah.
did. So who
Yeah.
knows?
But yeah. And
And
the
yeah,
praise I
I don't
do
care
see
about
that film get does baffle me. You know, because a lot of it's just, oh,
it's their teach
you
their
wanted
own.
the same thing. You just don't like you don't like it because it's different. I'm like, I love Jason Goes to Hell. I
It's
rewatched
not that
Halloween
fucking
3.
different. It's Friday the 13th Part 5
I
and
know.
shit they stole from the ending of Halloween 4
And
when Daniel
Christine.
Harris got possessed. Yeah, Christine. And also the beginning of Halloween 5 when the ultimate was Dr. Death. That
Uh-huh.
whole theme where they still stole shit.
Yeah.
They said Halloween 4
Yeah.
ending. What if that kept going and remake Christine?
Mhm.
What the fuck do you mean by different?
Well, I mean, Halloween Resurrection was different, so was Halloween 6. A lot of those were, derided by fans, so, I mean,
Yeah. Just Goes to Hell was different. People took a shit on that.
they still do. You got people who
The
will
guy who probably
give, like,
said that
Halloween
probably
Ends,
hates.
like, 10 out of 10 and, like, give, like, Jason Goes to Hell, like, a 0.
I was gonna say the guy who said that to you probably says Jason Goes to Hell sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, then you can't hate that movie then by your fucking logic. That's fucking different. That's pretty damn different. So what do you have to say about that, buddy? Since you say if it's different, it's automatically good, that means Jason Goes to Hell should be 8.5 on fucking IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, though.
It's a weak argument.
People still say it's the worst Jason film. I'm like, no. I still like that movie. It's entertaining.
That's easily in my top 5. Top 3,
It's
probably.
entertaining.
It's got better gore than in Halloween Ends. That's for goddamn sure.
And nudity, if you're looking for that superficial stuff. It's got nudity and more gore if you're looking for there. Whatever. A lot of people are saying Halloween Ends is shit. Exactly. And
Yeah.
it will never end. How long do you think it'll take for them to reboot it?
5 years or less.
And what do you think it'll be? You think it'll be just another remake of the first one?
Yeah. I think they might go with streaming series route. Like if the Friday the 13th thing is successful, I might do that with Halloween.
Oh God, Michael Myers as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And the last shot will be him killing his sister.
Yep. And then that ties into season 2. That ties into season 2.
And it's called Haddonfield.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, it's called Haddonfield. You know, because the new
I could see that.
Because the new Friday the 13th is called Crystal Lake. So if that's a hit, then they'll do Haddonfield.
Jesus Christ.
And that will also be by A24. No, it probably won't be by A24.
No, that'll be
Blumhouse.
That'll be Blumhouse. Because we need a TV series since they got a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there already an Exorcist TV series, by the way?
Yeah. With Gina Davis. Which I've actually heard is pretty good, but I haven't seen it. 2 seasons.
So they already did The Exorcist.
Yep.
What am I talking? Of course they keep doing it.
Like, when's the next Omen gonna come out? Because you know that's gonna happen again. Even though they did an Omen TV series too that didn't do anything.
No, we know what's next. It's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be like Halloween, the 2018 film.
Headlining Camp. Robert Englund's what, 80?
Yeah.
70, 80? We'll pay you enough one more time, Robert. This is your retirement check.
Yeah, maybe what they'll do with Freddy is they'll do the same thing that they did with Michael Myers. Will they have like the original actor have like a few scenes, but then they'll have some stand-in guy and then dub Robert Englund over him?
I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would do that. Maybe for like physical stuff, yeah, but I think
that's what I'm saying, like physical stuff. Yeah. Like physical stuff. Like I'll give the Halloween new trilogy this. James Jude Courtney, who played the Shape in that trilogy, he did a pretty damn good job. I still prefer Dick Warlock. That's my personal favorite, but he still did a really good job. And I feel bad for him because he got so fucking wasted in Halloween Ends. Like, he didn't get a chance to barely do jack shit of anything. Like, what a waste. After what he did in Halloween Kills, where he's like going through half the town of Haddonfield and just fucking them up right and left. Just sitting on his ass in a sewer somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issues with him as Michael Myers. That was the least of the film's worries.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of them that I hated, other than like Rob Zombie, and that was not the actor's fault. It's just the way Rob Zombie filmed
Tyler
it.
Mane, you know, I wouldn't blame him for.
But like the first 8 movies, I don't really have a problem with the people playing Michael Myers that I could think of. Now, some of the masks don't look the best, like Part 5, and but the people playing them, I guess I never thought of it because I never really had much issue with most of any of them.
Yeah,
that I could think of.
kind of similar to Friday the 13th, except for maybe like Ken Krisinger or whatever for you, right? Because a
Ken
lot of them are,
Persinger.
yeah. Because a lot of them are kind
Yeah,
of on the same level.
Michael Myers and Corey did suck each other's dicks in that movie, pretty much. But like they wanted to, with fucking googly eyes to each other.
Also have like an Air
Fell
Supply
in
song in
love.
the background. Making love out of nothing at all. Man.
Well, what was that song with the "Take on
Oh my God,
Me,
Take
Take
on Me.
on Me"?
Like, uh-huh.
Yeah. Why did Michael Myers drag a guy into the sewer and just let
I have
him
no
wait to wake
idea.
up?
I have no idea. They never explained that. There's no explanation. My cat's like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
A24 said Jason won't be on the show.
Of course. Of course he won't be. It'll be
So,
about
so is this
Pamela.
after Jason's dead and before she commits the? But wait, doesn't she do that in the first Friday 13th? That's why she killed people.
Yeah,
And if Jason's not on the show, that means he's been drowned already.
possibly.
Or where the hell would he be?
I don't know. Maybe it's a legal thing. Remember what happened with all that legal
Yeah, but I'm just saying
stuff?
within the show, what story is it going to be that
It's gonna be about
Jason's not
Pamela
in it?
Voorhees.
I know it's about her, but like, how you don't explain Jason not being there?
Probably already drowned.
He's in the
That's my
toilet.
guess. He already drowned.
He's what?
That's my guess. He's
Okay, he
already
already
dead.
drowned, but well, I guess at the very beginning of Friday the 13th, she did kill those two people
Yep.
at the very beginning. So I guess that's the story.
Yeah, it's gonna lead up to that, I
It'd be
guess.
those two people will be the star, guy and girl. No one fucking remember. No one knows their fucking name.
No, they'll just make shit up. You know, like you've seen a lot of.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Halloween Ends made shit up with Michael Myers and his fucking powers now, where he could touch you and see your
So it's before he's
memories.
born. Then what fucking story is that? That Pamela Voorhees before Jason's born?
That
It's
doesn't make
fucking
any
love
sense.
story.
That doesn't make sense. Who the fuck would even want to see that? Like,
No, none of this. No one wants to see. Okay, anyone in the chat, do you want to see a Friday prequel TV series with Pamela? Almost said Springsteen. Pamela Voorhees
Pamela Anderson.
by Pamela Anderson before the Lee or after the Lee. Doing where the fuck it is. One says no. Another says no. No.
Matt, you know there'll be enough people that will see it though. So that's
Yeah,
they
because it's
know
fucking.
they know that
Why?
there's a core group of horror fans who just
Why
eat everything
though?
up.
But why? Do they just eat everything up?
Lowered expectations.
Well, we're just haters. That's what it is. We're just haters. We
No,
just
I
hate
had
everything.
somebody get pissed at me because I said that there's really not a problem with having higher expectations. Like I've had multiple people like get pissed at me.
What?
They've been saying things like,
Why?
"Well, having higher expectations, that's bad. You should go into everything
Why?
with lower expectations." Like, no wonder you give shit like Barbarian 10 out of 10 because your expectations are so low going in every single time. I'm not expecting a masterpiece. I just want above average. That's my expectation. I'm not going to settle for average
So
anymore when it comes to a modern horror film or the latest movie. I'm not settling for
what's
average.
that mean?
That what?
The hell does that mean now?
Integrations? So zombie Jason, and then kid Jason, and then
It's the multiverse. It's the fucking multiverse. It'll be Jason X, Cyber Jason, Uber Jason will fight
oh my
Jason from Part
god.
7, and then they killed Kid Jason, the Mongoloid, and then
Oh
oh,
man.
I
And then
don't fucking know,
just to
man.
piss Matt off, the Ken Krisinger Jason from Freddy vs. Jason will like win the tournament. And he'll be the last Jason standing.
No one so far is looking forward to this shit, but yeah, like you said, it just
I'm getting a new thing in this franchise that I like. And I'm settling for that just because it's a new thing and the franchise is still alive.
yeah, just all these like fucking Jason fan films. You can just go watch those. Just
But
not
I
the ones
mean,
by Womp Stomp because that guy's a bitch. But
really, like, what is the problem with having higher expectations? I'm not expecting for. I'm not trying to be like, oh my god, expect a masterpiece, expect a 5 out of 5 star film. No, I'm expect just above
because they call you
average
nitpick, they call you too nitpicky.
because I'm not settling for average anymore. I'm done
Yes,
settling for average.
you're too
You know,
harsh.
because
You're too
settling for
harsh.
average is why, in my opinion, a lot of films lately are not as good as they could be. Because the writers and a lot of people already realize they're like, oh, we can kind of like cut corners here, or we can kind of not do the best job with this because, you know, they're not expecting anything other than average. So we can just give them the bare minimum at the very least. Uh, that should be enough. And for the most part, it has been. So I can't blame writers and directors and filmmakers today for tying into that formula. It's money. It's money in your pocket. It keeps you getting your name in the credits, keeps you adding more films to your filmography.
I mean, I do think there are films that could be time wasters. I do feel that is a thing that's
Yeah,
possible. I
definitely.
do, but so many of these people, like every fucking horror film, I fainted in the theater, and it was so scary. I fainted. This
Yeah,
new
Barbarian
Terrifier
had
movie, guys.
yeah,
I fainted.
Barbarian, like I said, has these wild theater reactions. Like people didn't know what was going on. They were freaking out, and I'm like, I guess they haven't seen Castle Freak. It's basically
They
fucking
haven't heard.
Castle Freak or The
Oh,
Unseen or Humongous.
they haven't heard of that. No. By the way, can I ask you a question about
Uh-huh.
Barbarian?
Yeah.
Do
Go ahead.
they answer how that whole fucking thing was dug up? Because it looks like it's like 5 miles long of dirt
No.
dug up in the basement.
No.
No,
No. They never answer that.
just
They never answer a lot of things. There are multiple shots of this door closing by itself. So it makes you kind of think it might be something supernatural, but it's just a cop out and they never explain it. So you're like, how the hell did this door close by itself? Well, oh, anyway, it's one of the babies of the mother or whatever running around. And I'm like, you would
no.
still hear them. It doesn't make any sense. There's no explanation that makes any sense for that, other than it was just a swerve by the writer, who, in my opinion, he's a good comedy guy. Zach Krager is an amazing comedy writer. He worked on Whitest Kids You Know, which is a really underrated sketch comedy show, if you ask me.
Hmm.
And I think he's better suited for that. But I'm still curious. Even though I didn't like the film, I'm gonna keep an eye on Zach Krager because at least he's trying to do something a little different. He's trying to be a little bit more unique. He's not settling for generic uh, garbage. Like what other
Unless it
writers.
sucks.
But I mean, even if it does, like that's the thing. Like it's not what I would consider a great film. But there were some moments where I was like, okay, that was kind of interesting. I don't think it really worked for me, but I could see some creativity there, and that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on him and kind of just see where he goes, because I've seen a lot of writers first turn directors, no, because this is really technically his first film, because he direct co-directed Miss March, which wasn't really that great comedy from way back in the day, but that's a completely different sort of genre than
Well,
Barbarian.
maybe he shouldn't write horror films then. Maybe he should just direct
Yeah,
them.
yeah, possibly.
Yeah, yeah, Chaz. I liked Nope. A lot of people hated it. I didn't think it was that bad. I know it just came out on Blu-ray.
Hmm.
Uh, Mike hasn't seen it, but
No,
I liked it. It's got its flaws, but I don't think it was as bad as people made it out to be. I liked it more than Us.
I
Liked it
didn't
more
get.
than
Yeah,
yeah.
this doesn't
You
really
didn't
tie
get
into
what?
Nope, but I didn't really understand, the bad reviews that the Blob remake got when it came out, for instance. Like that
No,
actually
yeah.
got a fair amount of bad reviews, and it didn't do well in theaters. And speaking of that, I actually did get a chance to see that in the theater, and it was a really awesome experience. Packed
Very
crowd,
cool.
people were hooting and hollering, cheering at Brian on his motorcycle. It was a blast. Like that's an incredibly entertaining movie, and it just made me
Yeah.
appreciate the film on an even larger level than I already do. Because I'm like, man, like that's the kind of horror film that I want to see more of in the mainstream today. It's like that kind of movie. I
Did
don't.
they have a reaction to that?
They didn't really have necessarily have, was it like there was like a few like, "Oh shit," and like, "Oh my god," that kind of reaction, but,
Oh yeah.
people weren't, like, pissed or anything.
Mm.
Um,
That is an awesome movie, by the way, The Blob.
yeah,
Because yeah, I do see it in the corner there. Love that movie.
yeah, it was so much fun seeing that in the theater, and, just everybody's reaction, like and prior to the movie starting, like, there were a bunch of people who raised their hands who had never seen it. So for a lot of people in
Mm.
that theater, like, the reactions were, like, first time reactions to the film, and, yeah, it's a real crowd pleaser. I think it belongs in the same tier as The Fly and The Thing. Like, it's the 3rd part of the trinity of '80s horror remakes, and
Mm.
I think it's every bit as good as those other 2. It's just a different kind of film. It's more of a crowd pleaser. It's not like those other 2 films don't have crowd pleasing moments, but I mean, The Fly remake is more of an emotional powerhouse. The Thing is more of a slow burn paranoia horror film with bursts of, practical effects and action. But there's a lot of, slow build, slow burn type of stuff with Who's the Thing, that kind, with the paranoia horror. The Blob is just like in your face, just carnage and craziness and one-liners and just a lot of fun, like from the very beginning. And it doesn't take itself too seriously, but there are still moments with the Blob when it's eating people, when it's taking people out, that it takes those moments for the most part pretty damn seriously. So it makes for some really visceral, grisly, just intense sequences.
Yeah, DJ, I don't know what you mean by interviewed you on the movie. I have no idea
Oh,
what you mean, man.
what the he was like a
Oh, you?
fan? No, he interviewed you, Matt. He did like he had a YouTube series.
Oh, oh God, that was a
I know,
long
he had
time
like a
ago. I
white
have
shirt.
no idea
I
what
think he
happened
had like
then.
a white blob shirt on in the video, I think.
Okay. God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, guy, he had a YouTube channel. Yeah, Freaky
yeah,
Frickin' Friday or something like
uh-huh,
that.
yeah.
I have no idea what happened. I think he had a website for a bit,
I
and
know
then he
that
like he, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I
I
don't even know where he's
know
at now. It's years.
speaking of, like, old stuff involving the Blob, I I did a video years ago, Flesh Harvest of the Blob. Um, I had to delete it recently because of copyright, fucking YouTube. You can't really have, like, copyrighted material anymore, if you wanna still have monetization. So, uh, I had to delete it, but I do remember hearing that in, like, a podcast interview with Chuck Russell, he actually mentioned that he saw the video and was a fan of it. So, I can at least
Yeah,
say
that's
that
cool.
Chuck Russell, the director of The Blob, he's seen the video that I edited and liked it. So, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. So I'll go on for about 20 more minutes at most. Just is at 2 hours. So, 2.5 is a good time, not to overstate it. Uh, so talked a little bit about Dune, Clerks 3, Barbarian, which you watched, Halloween Ends, Crystal Lake, the prequel TV show, She-Hulk twerks, fuck She-Hulk, fuck
I guess
Bros,
Daredevil
fuck
is
Black
in, like
Panther 2.
he's in, like, season well, not I mean, he's in episode 6 of She-Hulk,
Hmm.
and, I've heard some really cringe things about that.
I know
I
his costume is like the
I hate
comics, but
it.
it looks goofy.
I hate that I've hated that design. I've always thought it was dated as hell. There's a reason why they changed it pretty quickly into the original run of Daredevil comics because 'cause they're like, "This is lame. Make it all red." Like, what devil do you know wears fucking yellow?
Well, why? I mean, I don't know what was the reason in the comics for changing
I
that to the
don't
first place. I
I d I
guess.
d I don't remember, but that was the original design, the yellow and red,
Oh,
and then, like, pretty quickly into the Daredevil run, like the first run, they were like, "This doesn't work. Change it to
well, why'd you
all
put it
red."
for this? Do a lot of people like that design?
Beats me, because I don't know of that many people, Daredevil fans, that like that design.
Wolverine wears yellow.
It's a
Someone
little
mentioned
different.
that.
That's a little different because Wolverine, like, this still kind of fits, and then also the way that I don't know, it just seems to fit better with Wolverine's aesthetic to me than it does with Daredevil. But even with Wolverine, I've always preferred the darker yellow with, like, the darker brown,
The
variant
brown, yeah.
with, from, the, like, 80s comics. I prefer that. I've always
Someone says
preferred that
just
design.
someone says it's just a fun homage, but they need to start with these homages and work
Yeah,
on good writing.
because
But
She-Hulk
that's
doesn't
against the
have a lot
law.
of good writing. That's for damn sure.
Maybe you should, concentrate on that instead of what was that Ant-Man 3 trailer and people got pissed because Bill Murray was
Yeah.
what do you think about that? I don't know if we talked about this before. We
We
might
did
have.
talk about that because I
Yeah, we
mentioned,
did. Okay.
the Seth Green story and talked about Gina
No, I
Davis and
meant the
everything.
stuff with Ivan Reitman,
Oh, yeah, I think we talked about that too. It's one of those things
Anna
where
Faris.
yeah, it was just one of many things that Bill, was notorious for. He was just
No, no,
notorious
no.
for
That Ivan
being
Reitman was accused by Anna Faris.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about that. Yo, I did hear about that too.
The Anna Faris
Um,
says that Ivan Reitman smacked her on the ass and my super ex girlfriend, which is weird that she's bringing it up after the guy died.
yeah, yeah,
And says he was tyrant, and yet no one else has ever had a single story of that of Ivan Reitman.
yeah. Because with Bill, there are tons of stories. With Ivan,
Yeah,
there's just that one story, so I don't
and
know.
Ivan can't defend himself
No,
because he's dead.
no.
And also, she told the story like on his Ivan's son's birthday. Thought that
Yeah,
was. Or was it maybe it was the media released it on it? That was a very
Yeah,
weird timing.
yeah. I
I
know
mean, don't
there's
you think
a
that's weird timing? Whether it's the
that is
media
weird
or
timing.
her.
There's a Ghostbusters
Yeah.
Afterlife sequel coming out next year, Ghostbusters Firehouse. I would think that's just a stupid title. Ghostbusters Firehouse? Like, really?
Yeah, yeah, for a shitty movie. Fuck that movie. I don't care about Afterlife. I don't care about Afterbirth. I don't care about. That's what it should be called. Ghostbusters Afterbirth. After the life is
Uh,
afterbirth. Just call it that. Be honest.
but yeah, with Bill,
Afterlife sucks.
it sucks to see, but it's not surprising that like more and more people were coming out and just talking about how much of a dick he was on the set because it just seemed like
Mhm.
a reputation that he had. And I think I I I I think his days are definitely numbered in Hollywood. I don't think he's gonna get a lot of roles going forward.
Any what?
I don't
Sorry.
think he's gonna get a lot of roles going forward, acting roles.
Well, I mean, how old is he? I mean, he
See,
was
that's the
in. If
other
he's in
thing.
Ant
He's
Man 3,
yeah,
that's retirement age.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's already up in age, so I think he was gonna start getting less roles anyway, and this is just gonna make it so it's like, all right, head
It does sound like a
head
toy.
head to head to retirement, Bill.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I'm not going to speak for Mike. I'll speak for me. My opinion, I think Anna Faris is full of shit because I don't see why she would wait until after the guy died, and she says it right when all this Bill Murray stuff's happening. Like it's just very weird, insincere timing in a way.
Hmm.
Now, if it did happen, I'm sorry it happened, but at the same time, I've seen too many people of both sides being full of crap, and there are men who are full of it, but there's also women who are full of
Yeah.
it too.
Also, like
Amber Turd
in the
proved that.
2000s, a lot of people have
Jada Pink
forgotten.
Slip did that too.
A lot of
Fought
people have
Amber Turd,
forgotten.
fought Jada Pink Slip.
Mhm. A lot of people have forgotten what the 2000s were like in terms of certain attempts at comedy or certain ways that both men and women behaved in the workplace that was considered acceptable then, but isn't acceptable
Mhm.
now. I mean, look at like old clips of like G4, for instance, and then, compare it to the new G4, which is already dead, by the way,
Yeah, I
the new
wonder why.
G4. Um,
Big surprise.
yeah, but there were just a lot of things that were considered more socially acceptable back then by both men and women. So who
And people
knows?
were a bit more willing to take a joke as
Yeah,
well,
that too.
or playful.
Hmm.
God, get the stick out of your ass, world. What is it?
It's
Was like Jack Nicholson said. This is he the one that said it? This world is these one big enema.
yeah,
But he says city. The city is
yeah.
big.
This,
Needs one big enema.
yep.
That's what the world needs. One big fucking enema to take the stick out of its ass. And yeah, that Frost lady is a psycho from G4.
Uh huh.
I don't know what meds she was off, but she needed to get on them again.
Hmm.
She did look like she was off for meds. And I never heard of her before. I didn't know who the hell she was. Had you known who she was?
No. And here's the thing about the new G4. Even if she didn't do her rant, I still think it would have failed. It still would have failed. It doesn't really matter whether or not she had her rant about sexism in gaming or not. Uh, G4 was a product of its time, and trying to bring it back on YouTube with all this other competition for all these other like Let's Players and all these other people was just a recipe for disaster from the very beginning. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Oh, speaking of Henry
Oh,
Cavill,
flaws?
are you excited, Matt, that Henry Cavill is back as Superman and the Snyderverse is restored?
No, no.
I'm not either.
I'm not a fan of the Snyderverse.
I'm more excited about Superman 2 and 3 getting released on 4K next year. That's what I'm more excited about, Superman related.
Don't care about, yeah, I don't care about the Snyderverse. I
See,
wanted to see a sequel to the Batman, but now who knows if that
yeah,
will even
yeah,
fucking happen.
yeah, because in the Snyderverse
But
thing,
whatever.
because like, how are you gonna make that work? Because Ben Affleck's Batman is back, so what? How are you gonna make that work? Is it gonna be its own thing?
I don't know, man.
That's the consequence of like the Snyderverse returning is that. So
I mean, a lot of people liked it, so I mean, that's why they're doing it. But it's just
I do love how like the
ain't for
Snyder
me.
the diehard like crazy Snyder fans, like as soon as they got what they wished for, the Snyderverse is back, they still weren't happy because they were like, well, it's not really worth it if Zack Snyder isn't also back. It's like you're never happy. You're never satisfied. You got the
But
Snyder cut. You got you got the Snyderverse restored, and now you're still
but
like,
here's what I
well, if
don't
Zack Snyder
understand.
isn't directing it, then it doesn't matter.
But here is what I don't understand. Man of Steel, I don't think it was that good. You liked it more than me.
Hmm.
Didn't do that well.
No,
Batman v Superman was a joke,
it underperformed
and it was a joke of a movie. Justice League was a joke,
and didn't do that great.
and yet we're going to do more with this. Where's the rationale of that? Like, sorry, my body went against me. Explain that to me. What's the rationale of that?
I don't know.
Here's the thing, Monovol. Batman v Superman, that's the first time you have Batman and Superman in a movie together, and that should have made a lot more than it did.
Hmm.
And I don't think it did make 1 billion. Maybe it did. I don't remember. But that's like Batman and Superman finally in a movie together. Like, but this is stuff that wasn't popular by the general public. The general public, there were fans, but the general public were not eating this up like popcorn.
Like the most well
Multiple movies, and
received,
now you're gonna make more.
like the most well received, I think Snyderverse film critically was Wonder Woman, and then the sequel
Yeah, and
just
then
so bad that made a lot of people
that's
lose
another
faith
one.
in Wonder Woman as a franchise because the sequel was so shitty.
And so you don't continue on something that was not a successful venture compared to
Yeah, I
other
don't understand the
avenues.
thought process because they just the reason why they're in this position is because they fucked up from the beginning. Like you and I have constantly said this.
So
They
they're
started
going back to
off
the stuff that
they
fucked
started
them
off
up.
with the wrong foundation. They started off with a weak foundation with this DC cinematic universe. They started it with
Yeah.
Man of Steel. Well, actually, no, they didn't even start it with Man of Steel. They started with Batman versus Superman, which is an incredibly weak foundation because they did
Well,
it after
technically,
the
Man of
fact.
Steel was a
They
start.
did it after
Technically,
they did it after the fact though. That was not the intended starting off point for the DC cinematic universe. It was more of like a spin-off kind of thing or like its own film and its own like separate sort of DC Superman universe. But then it did all right in the box office. They saw the success that Marvel had with the Avengers, and then we're like, "Whoa, we got to have our own Avengers." And they didn't want to wait to build things up like Marvel did. Yeah, they rushed everything. Exactly. That's what happened. They started things off on the worst foundation. Yeah, I
Hmm.
doubt. Yeah, it was just a trilogy by Snyder. Wasn't even intended to be a
This
cinematic
clusterfuck.
universe.
So they make a clusterfuck that didn't do well, and now we're going back to the clusterfuck.
Yeah,
And right now they're a bigger clusterfuck.
because of the
Canceling
Flash
this. The
and the
Flash is a
Flash.
fucking joke,
Yeah,
which I do think will get released, but so many things make money. It will make money, but uh, Ezra Miller. Isn't that guy going to jail? I hope so.
maybe.
I don't know. I hope so. Guy's a fruitcake. Fucking fruitcake. And that's how Michael Keaton comes back. There you go.
Yeah, Michael Keaton comes back, and then they're like, "Oh, nah, sorry, Michael. We're not going forward with you as the Batman in this new direction for DC. We're just gonna go back to Ben Affleck."
Fucking Christ. Real quick, like someone mentions, yeah, the Running Man did get a 4K. Came out a few days ago.
Yeah,
Didn't get it.
I have the German media book. It's a good transfer. I think they're using the same one for the American release.
I just Raw Deal got a 4K. I'm not really big on Raw Deal.
I
I don't
like
need
a,
the Matrix on
I
4K
like a
now.
couple lines of dialogue. You shouldn't drink and bake, but
Yeah.
I'm not a super big fan of Raw Deal either.
You know, Arnold. Speaking of Arnold, even though he's not in it, I completely forgot that Eraser movie came out. Remember
Oh
that
yeah,
direct-to-video
yeah,
Eraser sequel?
yeah.
I don't know why. Just the other day, I'm like, oh shit, that did come out, and no one said a word.
Because
No what? No fucking wonder why.
nobody cared. Nobody wanted an
Eraser Reborn or
eraser.
something.
They didn't want another eraser.
At least not if Arnold was in it. That could have been a
It's like
cool sequel, but
it's like that transporter refueled. Remember that?
refueled.
Yeah, transporter refueled.
I forgot it was called Refuels.
There was also that transporter TV show. Like nobody remembers either of those things. They're like, "What? There was a what?"
Yeah. Fucking. Someone asked, "What was the last action movie book I got?" Or I guess you got, and we both got. Um.
Action movie book.
Well, I'll say this. This one here, Canon Film Guide
I have
from
volume 1 of
85 to
that.
87.
I have volume 1 of that
This
one. I don't have volume 2 yet.
is volume 2.
I mean, I guess the James Bond book that I have could be considered action, but you know, it's called Nobody
Yeah,
Does
this
It
pretty much.
Better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is from 85 to 87, talking about Canon films and and the like.
Yeah, Nobody Does It Better is like about comprehensive look at all the Bond films with like a bunch of interviews with different people involved with the Bond franchise.
I don't know if you can see this poster. This is kind of a funny one. Columbia Connection El Massacre. That's Chuck Norris, apparently.
Is that for like Delta Force 2?
Yeah, it's funny. There's like 7 helicopters.
It's like not even 7 helicopters can handle one
Stop
Chuck
Chuck
Norris.
Norris. Exactly. That's why they're not shooting at him. They're too afraid. They're flying over him. Oh, by the way, I just heard that the other night that you know that guy Frank Dukes.
Uh-huh.
He challenged Chuck Norris. He said, "I could get the shit out of Chuck Norris." Being a dick again.
Oh my god.
Fucking Frank Dukes.
Michael Dudikoff
Jesus, that
should,
asshole.
meet him under that big fan and kick his ass. No, we should challenge Jeff Speakman. Jeff Speakman would wipe the floor with his ass. Kempo.
Johnny Jerry, no, I'm not going to pick up the Matrix in 4K. I don't need it in 4K.
It looks really good.
Uh,
I do have the 4K set,
cool.
and I think it's closer to the original color timing in 4K. There's still like a little touches here and there, but it's not as like bad as it was on Blu-ray with the green and everything. Um,
And yeah, in January, Tino Lorber's doing the Missing Action trilogy on
yeah,
Blu-ray.
which is pretty awesome. But it's gonna be
It's
fairly
cool.
affordable because it's Kino Lorber. Like they're not gonna be like, give us $120 for the Mission in Action trilogy, like what Scream Factory did with Halloween 6 through H2O.
Hmm.
Oh, cool.
I haven't read that book. I've
Speaking of
heard about
books,
that book. I heard he meant Sheldon Ledge. I saw an interview with him. He mentioned how Frank Dukes, speaking of him, because he knew him because worked with Van Damme. Sheldon Ledge, like I mean, Frank Dukes had this picture of him in the military, like he was in a war.
uh-huh.
It was from the fucking
Photoshopped.
short film. It was a short film Sheldon Ledge did about Vietnam,
Oh my
and so Frank
god.
Dukes took that picture and made it seem like he was an actual soldier.
What a false valor piece of shit. People who like use false valor are like some of the biggest pieces of shit out there, if you ask me.
Exactly. Fucking asshole.
But speaking of books, I got one to mention, Reign of Chucky by the guy who did the Phantasm Exhumed book. He did Taking Shape, parts 1 and 2, Dustin McNeil. Pretty affordable, like 22.49 in Amazon. It's a in-depth book about, the Child's Play franchise.
Okay, cool.
It's like 470 pages. So
Does it talk about unmade ones or no?
I think it does at one point. I think possibly. I know Dustin did
Hmm.
one on Halloween, which I would like to get one of these days. But
Yeah, Steven Seagal living in Russia. Good, he can stay there with his
so
fat ass.
we don't see any more Steven Seagal films. It's kind of a positive. Although speaking of Seagal, I mean, I did actually pick up Mark for Death finally on Blu-ray for an affordable price. I know it's been out of print for a while, and the DVD is one of those that it doesn't really hold up that well on modern TVs.
Yeah, that book, the one that said that because Bruce Willis wasn't a bodybuilder or sports guy or something, so
He's
Die
not
Hard
he's
isn't
not
an
an action
action
hero.
movie. Action hero.
Mhm.
Bruce Willis is an action hero, so Die Hard isn't in that fucking action movie book. We're just talking about action movies. So, like Clint Eastwood, I don't think was in it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think. Uh,
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, I don't think was in it. Bruce Willis films weren't in it.
What, Peter Weller probably wasn't in it because Peter Weller
No.
is yeah, because he's not an athlete. He was a mime, like, he did mime training, but guess that doesn't really count. Um,
Nope.
like what is up with these like action movie books that suck? Like there's that one, and then there's like Action A to Z by fucking Marshall Julius or whatever the fuck his name is.
I'll mention one more because it's actually a good guy on here, subscriber. He wrote a book, which I thought was cool.
Is that? Oh yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah,
Martial Arts of the
yeah,
70s. This is a good one. I'm not just saying it because, I really do mean it. It's a really good read.
yeah.
Western martial arts films of the 70s.
Uh-huh.
This is a good one. It's well worded by John Beckett, good guy on here. Flying Ninja 1.
But yeah, the
That's a good book.
fucking Marshall Julius, Action A to Z, had a picture of RoboCop 2 on the cover, and I think he was like shitting on the film in the book, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the cover of the book, but he hates it.
There were a lot of opinions in that book where you're like, why is this guy writing this action movie book? Like, he doesn't even say he likes action movies.
Hell, there'd be some people saying the same thing about us.
He's the co-writer of like the new makeup effects book that just came out, which I'm just kind of he co-wrote it. The last thing he wrote movie related was Action A to Z. That sucked. If anybody could find a way to fuck up a book about makeup effects, like it's probably that guy. What is he gonna do? Shit on the makeup effects for like half the book?
I don't know.
Uh,
We'll start to end it here. It's been 2.5 hours.
yeah,
And sorry about the stuff earlier. I don't know what the deal is with that. Never had that happen before, but now I know how to do slow mode, so do that in the future. But thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks, my friend, for coming by. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, no
Makes the time
problem.
go by fast. I have to go back and finish Dune.
Well, good luck.
And what's coming up for you? Doesn't mean that
So,
anything has to be planned, but
review of Barbarian, definitely have that coming up. I did get some paid requests from Brock, House of the Devil, Tourist Trap, Interview with a Vampire, some other film I forgot the name of it, but like it's on like Shutter or something. It's a film that kind of just recently came out. So I got that. I do want to sit through the Munsters and Hocus Pocus 2 because I know that those will do pretty well for the algorithm.
Hocus
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
That fucking film cost 40 million somehow.
I don't know how.
Doesn't look like it.
Just from the clips that I've seen, I don't know how that costs that much. It doesn't
40
even look like it
million.
cost that much more than Dracula, the original living vampire. Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean,
that's an asylum film.
Hocus Pocus 2, 40 million. I don't know where it went. I guess a
to
lot of
to
pockets were filled.
to pay Bette Midler come out of retirement. I don't know.
Yes. She should stay retired.
Yeah, that film sounds horrible. Like I've seen like a couple videos on it, and I'm like some of the dialogue. I'm like, really? You got this one girl who's talking like she's in gender studies, fucking college, and she's in high school, talking about the
And you
fucking
actually don't do the
patriarchy.
monsters? And you
Yeah.
actually don't do the monsters as well?
Hmm. I gotta
Good
get it
luck with
over with,
that.
man. Like I know people are gonna ask me about it. Someone's gonna request it eventually, anyways. I'm like, fine.
Good luck with that.
But I also do want to do a video on Halloween 3 because I've been wanting to do one for a while. I've done one in the past, but I think I wound up deleting it. So I need to do another video as well as one on the Blob from 1988 because I really like both those films. Halloween
Someone
3,
mentions you got someone mentions you got a request for Avatar.
Yeah, I got that too. That's on the way. Steven Seagal film was actually requested, I think, a couple months ago, but I couldn't fit it into the horror month schedule.
Which
Born to
one?
Raise Hell.
He made so many of those, but I can't tell the difference between some of them. I know it's not the one with the McDonald's on the dashboard. That's Black
No,
Dawn.
it's not Attack Force because
That's the one.
I already did a rant on
It's
Attack
not that.
Force.
And yeah, okay, it was Black Dawn. That's the one where there's McDonald's on the fucking dashboard. Seagal's fucking man. I'm like, that fucking fits.
Might as well be KFC. KFC buckets on the ground.
Yeah, must be his own fucking lard from his fat ass on the fucking dashboard, ready to seep
KFC.
into the damn
That's all.
dashboard like the blob.
It's not the FBI. It's not like the FBI or anything. It's the KFC, the A&W, the
The BBWs, the FWBs, the CKYs. It's always something with Seagal. CIA, the FBI, the ADF, the ATF. He's going to be driving through some more houses and kill some more dogs or chickens or whatever the fuck happened on that reality show he did. Oh,
oh
I'm a
lawman.
sheriff, and then drove in and killed someone's fucking dog or chicken or
Oh
something.
shit! I didn't know that. I have that. I
Yeah,
actually
it was
have that on DVD somewhere. Steven Seagal, lawman.
yeah. There was something where he was riding along and they ran to like a place and I guess the car is I forget if it was a dog or a chicken or something like someone's pet. It fucking kills. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Yeah, so goals in Russia, have fun doing that shit. Remember,
Steven
yeah,
Seagal
he
can
he
be
is he is the hill.
Steven Seagal can just go be roommates with Dennis Rodman or something. Dennis Rodman and his like North
There
Korea.
you go. That's the sequel to Double Team. And it won't be a fucking Coca-Cola or whatever was it machine they're hiding. It'd be a fucking KFC
Yeah,
bucket.
it'll be a giant
Big
KFC
enough,
bucket. Giant bucket of KFC.
big by KFC they're hiding from the explosion this time.
Uh,
Oh my god, man. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming by. See you guys later. Ciao for now. Be careful out there. And see you guys.
see ya.
Have a good night.